It is once again the annual spectacle that is truly the immortal showcase of the strongest in professional wrestling. As Destino looks to be defined, vengeance is on the Rainmaker's mind. A new championship inaugurally to be crowned, and generational talent debuting all abound. This and so much more as we come together to preview and discuss Wrestle Kingdom 18 in Tokyo Dome. Hello, everybody. Konnichiwa to all of you. Everybody watch this live or on demand. You know what this is, for I am the simple man, the simple brand, forever great for professional wrestling. Damn it. And the voice, the Jam Man, coming off a call from New Year's Eve. Shout out to JJ Williams and Jeff Meacham. And my name is Noah Foster. And again, it is always the annual pleasure and spectacle for me to engage with my friends in Japanese pro wrestling. And of course, it doesn't get any closer with the duo that started all back at G1 Climax, I believe, 31. Welcome back to the platform, the wrestling encyclopedia himself, Casey Gallagher. Casey, I guess you've lost, and Happy New Year to you. We once again made it. January 4th is on the horizon, and we even have a press conference to check out once we're done here if we don't overlap it. But how you feel, my friend, overall, personally, mentally, and professionally, and how are you looking at this year's Wrestle Kingdom?
This is probably the most important Wrestle Kingdom we've had in a long time. We've got old stalwarts in new positions. We've got matches we haven't seen 1,000 times. We've got a brand new president stepping in to test the waters with the New Japan World TV Championship.
Right.
But throw that graphic back up.
Oh, with absolute pleasure.
There is one particular match that I think we all have our eye on. Top row, middle column. Is this the final Destino?
Yes. Will Sonata acquire a presence? Or truly for Sonata's run, is it adios? With that being said, Casey, it's so good again to see. I hope you and your family are doing well. I want to give a shout out to those that couldn't be here. Kuzan Zero, nothing but love to y'all. God bless you. Hope to check you all out again, either in a simple take after New Year's Dash Wrestle Kingdom, or maybe later on this year for G1 Climax or Dominion. But again, praise for passions. Also, sleep is important. And again, one of my friends across the pond, cheers to him. Shout out to my friend Mary Jane, also across the pond, who continues to prove that Jay is worth more than gold. Keep fighting. Well, kids, without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and get right into it? Again, for those that don't know, I love to do this honorary annual Simply Predicting exhibition for the biggest show in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom. I hold it up every year, and I still remember the winner. So if you want to be part of the fun, the initial predictions exhibition for what becomes Simply Predicting later on this year, then please check out the form in the chat or on my social medias at Imposter1916 on the Twitter and on YouTube, because of course I will track the results and share the winner once Wrestle Kingdom concludes. And then of course the predicting comes back in full force with all the professional wrestling. Damn it, it's Yes, like Hiromu Takahashi says about the junior heavyweight division in IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Of course, I will host leagues across all the brands of wrestling: WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, AEW, and of course Impact Wrestling, now becoming TNA, and that'll be the first thing predicting this year, so stay tuned for more on that. Well, let's get right to Wrestle Kingdom. And with that being said, if y'all enjoying this, please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Let's get right into it. And as we know, we always have our kickoff, and this year's kickoff, of course, is again the New Japan Ramble. Now, for those that don't know, allow me to explain. The New Japan Ramble is a random multi-person over the top rope battle royal situation, but you also get eliminations via pinfall or submission. It is a provisional championship that Taiji will be defending. It will start with two competitors. Then a new competitor will carry him out every minute. And there he is, you freaking sleeping buffoon. Hold on, and I'll send the link to you. He made it at the last possible second. Go figure, as some people do. Hold on, bruv. As I keep explaining the Ramble, of course, the Ramble has usually 20, 21. We have no idea how many participants or what the amount is, Casey. But we also know, like last year, the last four remaining will get a chance to compete for the provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2024 championships on January 5th at New Year's Dashes. I try to bring at least Zero in and see if Kusan is finally awake. Why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts on this title, this what's becoming an annual exhibition, and if you could pick any names, don't have to be four, but like just try and name maybe one name possibly be in the four, who you think could actually make it or outsmart the field. Don't say Yano. I mean it. Don't you say Yano. Don't you say it.
Well, he goes without saying, but
Fair.
But I will say this: Taichi has definitely taken King of Pro Wrestling to a place where I don't think even Okada thought it could go when he first introduced the concept. So good on him for taking the provisional King of Pro Wrestling Championship and making it his own. He has put on clinics pretty much all throughout his reign. Need we remind ourselves about his time in the G1? Easy for me to say.
About to say, freaking Jabberjaw here.
Yeah, no respect.
Right.
I'm all right now, but
it's all good.
I'm all right now. But yesterday was rough. My last birthday cake looked like a prairie fire.
Yeah, you sound like one of the auctioneers or Boomhauer. But yeah, and we've seen surprises from Gleek, for example, with SEMA. With all the crossover with All Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah, we could see some presentation from there as well. Former champions, of course, Shingo Takagi, of course, is defending number one. Don't expect him in this. Janos, which I can't stand the guy. He definitely has somebody to always think about. You always see that Chase Owens has his eye on this, former holder of this. Great Khan. Oh, hell. He's been needed to try and find his way into Japan Pro Wrestling. He could try and define it here. And seriously, dude, you better change that name once I bring you in. Speaking of interruptions and ramble, bring. Welcome back, Zero, to the New Japan Forum. And dude, come on, be serious for once in your life. It's Wrestle Kingdom, damn it. But again, appreciate you. How you feeling about Wrestle Kingdom, brother? Good to see you. Happy New Year.
What's bragging, bro? So yeah.
All right. I mean, he had to get at least one bling in there. And for those that don't know, check him out, Color TV. Check out his great work on AEW Spark. He and Owen have been holding it down with the conversation on all things All Elite Wrestling every week. And again, bro, you basically came in perfect timing, and we're talking about literally a match where people just come in every minute as it comes. The Ramble. So, what's your thoughts on the New Japan Ramble? Do you have like any names in mind you want maybe part of the four course to determine at New Year's Dash? And I'll let you go ahead and say a name before I bring in another participant. Y'all freaking in the last second.
No, because you never sent us a link. Like, bro, I was waiting. But like, bro. But
I did the photo. Ding, ding. Now all four of us are here. Good grief.
Yeah. So my surprise.
Now all four of us are here. The boys are. Yeah, the boys are back in town once again for Wrestle Kingdom. Go freaking figure.
Yeah.
What's up, bros?
Shut up.
Now hold on.
What are you eating?
We're literally just kicking things off, talking about the New Japan Ramble.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Hey,
you eating
celery. But anyway, again, it's a snack. He's on also a specialized diet, so I don't hold that.
You want to talk about snacks? I got my cheese puff. I got my Mountain Dew. I got my cup of tea.
And Kuzan, do you got anything good over there that you're sipping or chopping on, bro?
Oh, my bitter hate for how late it is here in the UK.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes of 4 in the morning. It's like 20 minutes of 4 in the morning, you poor bastard.
Yeah, right.
I got my joint. But yeah.
All right.
So
let's go ahead and really get this thing off. Let's talk about the Ramble. And Zero, again, I'll give the first talk here to you to give out a name, as Casey kind of like broke down a little bit of what this has been. So what's your thoughts on it? Do you have a potential 1 of 4 names in mind you would like to see go after this title January 5th in New Year's Dash?
Yano.
Damn it!
Oh, heavens, yes.
No, I do not need to see freaking cage matches and drinking matches and freaking body slam matches with a sandbag. That guy turned this into the ultimate gimmick title.
Fine. If not Yano, we need to bring somebody from DDT. The legend, the GOAT, the guy who put DDT on the map. Yoshihiko, the fucking blow up doll.
The most dangerous opponent Hiromu
The
Takahashi
most
has ever faced in his
you
life.
never, bruh. Have you ever seen anybody do 20 Canadian destroyers in a row? No,
No,
he
I
has a
haven't.
special. No, he's the GOAT. We need him to win the fucking
Okay, so we got Yoshihiko and
Yeah.
Toriano as two potential names.
Alright,
God help my
so
blood pressure.
sorry, so I got two more.
Kate, Go ahead. You got two more in mind? And we'll see if anyone argues your four names and try and one up you.
We need the god of the Kokeshi. We need his stern ass.
Tamaki Homa.
Yeah. Then for the fourth pick, Chase Owens.
I mean, Chase Owens has been every ramble I could count right now, and he always tries to come in at number one. And while he tries to outlast the field, he's been part of these fatal four ways, I think, literally the last 2 years. So, again, it's a very fair shout. That's actually the strongest name you said. I think Great Khan needs to really try and create a chance for himself here. I want the title to breathe new life towards somebody's start in 2024. And with so much new generational talent now being showcased here that can lead to Japan Pro Wrestling into a new, brighter era, I'm more optimistic towards seeing a first-time name here like Great Khan or Hanare. And honestly, people in the United Empire need to step up. Kuza, what's your thoughts on this Rambo?
Yeah.
Good answer.
I don't really know because I'm looking at New Japan as like a whole landscape at the moment. Because we're getting a new title, and like I know like they want to make this one that already exists like the best that it can look. I don't know because like are we only counting New Japan roster?
I would not count only New Japan roster because we saw Sema from Gleep, for example, come in, and we've also seen the representation of All Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah involved with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I would just throw out probably all of Japanese Pro Wrestling, especially with that summit they created with the
Jun Kasai. We need.
All right, there's another one. Yeah, involved at Freedoms. And also the Frontiers matches have also demonstrated brand new talent into the New Japan ecosystem. So balls in your court as far as whatever name or what promotion you think could be involved here. Because we have no idea what the field is or how big it is.
So for safety's sake, I'll just keep it to New Japan. And it's hard because like the last time we spoke, like I did like a lot of research looking into this title,
right?
And with everything that's been going on, like the whole landscape is completely different. However, like what has actually really changed with this belt?
Nothing.
It went from gimmick to strong style with Shingo Takagi, back to a blend of both with the juggling of Taiji and Sho. And that's about as much as I can think about this title. It hasn't been more strongly presented as a title to really fight for under unique circumstances of strong style and combat than when Shingo Takagi held it and went to war with Hanare and freaking Great Khan in MMA and in that triad. But Taiji was the one that took off him, of course, earlier last year in that crazy triad match where literally the ref had to stop it for the sake of both their well-beings.
I'm trying to be quick as well.
Again, I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, what name do you try and connect with KLPW to find it their own way?
Oh, Nita.
I give it to Tongaloa.
Oh, that's a fair shout, considering his brother's challenging for the Never title, and he's been humble coming back from surgery. I like that. And of course,
it'd be a good kickoff for him, I think.
Well, yeah. I feel like Tongaloa, as far as Hontai, he's kind of been trying to find his way, and I still don't think he's even 100%.
We saw that for ourselves during the G1.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. This might be kind of wild. Taka Michinoku or
Legend. Okama legend.
Christopher Daniels. Because he's
Curry Man?
technically on the New Japan roster.
He's gonna be back.
If he shows
Even
up
better,
if he shows up as Curry Man, I'm gonna shit myself.
oh
laughing.
heavens, yes!
Oh
Yes.
no! Oh no!
Konnichiwa.
Oh, good grief!
I would really love, actually, I would really
Please
genuinely
let
love,
this
I would
happen.
love Curry Man to come back.
You get Curry Man versus Cheeseburger.
Nah,
No, I would love Christopher Daniels to
Book
show
Book
up.
Book it for Osaka Joe Hall, Tana.
No,
Osaka.
no. We don't need to go down that far. All right.
No, I'll stamp down Christopher Daniels.
I do like that though. That again, veteran of the game, also part of the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame, and we know AEW will be involved. Ring of Honor's been involved in the past as well. All right, so a bit of fair names of what's as far as in out of New Japan Pro Wrestling across the Japanese scene. Of course, we know multiple promotions have come together under this summit. I think it's like the United. Yes, that. Thank you. And I could definitely see that representation carried throughout the Rambo as well. All right, that was pretty simple. Just again, it's one of those things that's just a forward thought because it really is one of those things where it's like, who needs this and how weird can this field get? If that doll's in this, though, I'm going to literally lose it on air when I call this. I'm just going to say that for the record.
All
right.
Is it possible that since we saw, like, so who's the current Iron Man heavy metalweight champion? Because we could bring him in there and have a whole madness in that joint.
Oh no, I don't know if the champion can handle that. Hiromu nearly lost his mind holding that. I think he gave it to a table. I'm not sure who the current champion is, but again,
my man lost the belt to a belt. Then the belt lost the belt to a belt, bro. That like what the fuck?
And then the belt lost the belt to a table.
Did you know a ladder won the belt? Yes, true thing.
It'd be easier to say what hasn't won that belt if we're being perfectly honest. All right, that's one person.
I didn't win the belt.
I wasn't saying any names, but okay. You want to put yourself out there?
Come on now.
I mean, you know, anyone can be champion.
It is currently held as of December 24th, 2023. The official champion is the Christmas tree.
Oh, hell yeah. Future
the 1,599th champion.
Future Hall of Famer right there.
And he'll
put him in the WWE Hall of Fame. On God.
And he'll lose it to a box of chocolates on Valentine's Day.
On God, let's
go. Right. Well, before
long-term storytelling.
He's winning.
Will the box of chocolates then lose it to a temple during Golden Week?
Either that or a 4-leaf clover. All right, let's get back to reality here.
I can't get back to reality.
Well, you know, I mean, the reality right now is, can the War Dogs be stopped, or is Catch 2 and 2 finally going to be buried once for all, 6 feet under? As again, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships opening the festivities here, as they usually do at Wrestle Kingdom. The record stands 3-0 in favor of the War Dogs, despite their abysmal performance during the Super Junior Tag League, and Catch 2-2 was able to overcome the House of Torture in the end, but we saw the first ever coffin match where TJP was put into the coffin. Akira was literally hung out to dry like old Yellow out in the back without a shotgun. At this point, though, I do feel like, and again, this is also Drew Maloney and Clark Connor's mainstream, if we're being honest, Wrestle Kingdom debut. Catch 2 and 2, of course, came into Wrestle Kingdom last year as the champions and overcame the winners of the Junior Tag League, but this time they come in the challenger position. A thing to think about here, though, guys, we have seen 4 successful title defenses in a row at Wrestle Kingdom lately for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. And if you all know your Wrestle Kingdom history, trends tend to follow, particularly on January 4th in the Tokyo Dome. So that being said, let's go ahead and start with Kuzan on this one. Kuzan, do you believe there'll be new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, or is Catch 2 and 2 literally going to be done come January 4th?
So I'm aware that we're in the same position that we were in last year. I know that doesn't really like answer your question, but like because I believe this was like Catch 2 and 2 were also in the same position. They were in the same position last year.
They were in position as champion, challenging the winners of the Super Junior Tag League. It's the complete opposite now.
Yeah. So I'm in the mindset that like this team is like great. Like Catch 2 and 2 is like fantastic. You know?
Of course, it's TJP and Francesco Akira.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
guys
you
are
got
too
the
good to be held down.
You got the veteran TJP that's led this young, bright up-and-comer from Italy to his first ever Wrestle Kingdom and a victory.
Now, are they still affiliated with the United Empire?
The United Empire is still existing.
Okay.
From what I understand, Will Ospreay is also still in that group as well.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how much faith New Japan are going to be putting into feeding into this group anymore.
What?
What?
Shall we try again?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and try again. The internet might be acting
You were
up
talking
here. We'll
about
see how far this
you were
holds.
talking about the levels of New Japan's faith in the United Empire.
Yeah, because due to the fact that Ospreay, seeing as he's like basically the leader, he won't be around in New Japan anymore. So I don't know how much New Japan are going to leave any faith in the faction, and that will also affect these two as well.
Oh, fair enough.
Now, here's the question that brings up.
Accepted the challenge for the cup match. What's the question?
Now, yeah. Here's the question that brings up. Do you think they'll get lost in the shuffle, or is this their moment to break out and start ascending towards the possibly even the heavyweight ranks of the tag scene?
My hopes aren't high.
Fair enough, mate.
Which is depressing because I love this group.
Right. Well, it's just one of those things where I feel like Catch 2 right now is a comeback story waiting to happen, and we have seen trends broken. But again, 4 successful title defenses in a row the last 4 years at Wrestle Kingdom for the junior heavyweight tag champs. And honestly, the War Dogs at this point, they're due to get a major win on the grand stage after their abysmal performance during the tag league. So, especially you might not like the War Dogs, or some people not like the War Dogs. War Dogs are out to prove a point as much as Catch 2 and 2, if not more. Honestly, Catch 2 and 2, while they've beaten them 3 times in a row, they are their biggest threat and their greatest obstacle because they will not stay away. So I think just because of the way, especially with TJP after being put in a coffin, maybe we'll get Manic back or something. I think Catch 2 and 2 breaks the trend and gets the titles back. Before we move on, Casey, Zero, do you have anything else to say regarding this junior tag title match?
Bullshit. The thing is, I'm sorry, but like
simple and clean.
Yeah, because one thing I would say, I hate the War Dogs. I hate them to death. They are just icky, ill will guidance, but like, in all says though,
you feel that way about half the gaijins in New Japan. Let's be honest.
Look, the War Dogs. Let me tell you something. The War Dogs are the New Japan. They are the LA Dojo babysitting group. Okay, that's what they are.
That's
just
fair.
Being fair, because like if you notice, the most of the people in the War Dogs are from the LA Dojo.
Yeah, literally.
It's babysitting group, you know. Freaking like, too bad Shibata not being a good father, so the dude need my boy CC over there. So who I think is gonna win? Nobody besides the Catch 22, because I'm being biased. I don't like the War Dogs, so
that's fair, and I appreciate how you kept it rather sensible in your bias.
I was gonna say, at least you admit you're biased.
I mean, at
So-
the end of the day, we're being honest here in our fandom, but we're also keeping it fair. And from a professional standpoint, you can't argue, even if the War Dogs are what they are, the aggressive nature, they hold on to the gold for a reason. Again, bad performance in the tag league, but they have essentially defended these titles multiple times over.
What they do to those trophies? Why'd they have to do that, by the way?
Yeah, about to say the disparaging, disrespectful legacy of the junior heavyweight division. That's a whole different conversation. But yeah.
Gaijins.
I mean, this is not as bad as Suzuki-gun that got almost exiled from New Japan. I'm just saying, this is just downright immature, ridiculous, ruthless, aggressive nature, savagery that has put the well-being of Japanese professional wrestling fans.
They try to be
at
edgy,
risk.
bro. They try to be edgy, you know.
I don't know how edgy. Look,
Gaijin.
well, I don't know how edgy. I don't know what the definition of edgy is in Japan versus the somewhat restrained culture of the Western Front, courtesy of the FCC. But
They try to be Western edgy. They try to be
Western
like,
edgy. We're westernizing. We're westernizing New Japan Pro Wrestling, is what I'm hearing. Okay,
yes.
I got you.
That's been going on for years now.
Apparently. By the way, I want to give also a quick shout out. Prayers of safety, strength, and condolences to anybody affected by the recent earthquake that affected.
Oh my
Japan.
God! I completely forgot about that.
So to everybody out there, please take care, be safe, and I hope everyone's okay, and I hope everyone enjoys Wrestle Kingdom and keep that in perspective.
Everyone's VTuber is in danger. Please.
Well, that's one group definitely affected, if nothing else. Casey, do you have anything to say regarding this title match? And for those that are wondering, he's on like a iodine diet, so he's actually taking care of his body. He hasn't ate nothing all day. So
he's just bragging. He knows what he's doing.
The celery thing, I'm okay with, but it comes to your health. But anyway, Casey, do you have anything to say regarding this junior heavyweight tag title match?
Where the hell is ELP when you need him?
Good question, bruh.
Later on.
What's my boy ELP?
Oh, we'll talk about him soon enough, I assure you.
Okay.
All right. Well, you did talk about the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, newly appointed. So let's go ahead and talk about this match now, as I did keep him in order. And funny enough, he's challenging for the NWGP World Television Championship.
He's fighting his boss.
Quite literally. The boss versus the front man in a bout that will go no longer, if it hits the peak, 15 minutes. And these two have been tied up with each other for years. Let's go back to 2019. He won Supercard.
On January 4th?
Yep,
on January 4th, the part of Stone Cold Steve Austin will be played by Zack Sabre Jr.
One of the only guys who literally tap out Tanahashi multiple fucking times, bro.
Broke his whole ass damn arm, I'm pretty sure, back in 2021?
At the time, he couldn't beat his meat anymore, bro. But he just broke his arm, dog. It's fucked up. Well, you don't do that.
The thing you got to consider here, guys, you never count out the ace at Tokyo Dome. As far as Okada, I feel the ace still owns the least because he still has been the consummate presence. And that's where we're at here. As the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, taking the reins of the likes of Tatsumi Fujinami, Hiroshi Tanahashi goes one-on-one for the 18th time, I think. I've lost count. Zack Sabre Jr., who has been the most dominant working modern era champion for one full calendar year to the day, 17 defenses on his way to V20. There has never been a more perfectly sound, connected title and competitor than the NWA World Television Championship and Zack Sabre Jr. List put away includes not limited to Jeff Cobb, inaugurally Ren Narita. His ultimate contest, in my opinion, Speedball Mike Bailey. He has defended this on AEW, Impact, on Ring of Honor, and in and out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So it's one of those things where I also look at the fact that the frontman's been the only one to have gold the entire last calendar year for TMDK. He is the frontman for a reason. He leads by example. Hiroshi Tanahashi, though, he literally catches Zack Sabre Jr. with something as simple as a neck cradle, which is what led to this opportunity after power struggle in that six-man for the Never Openweight Tag Team Championships with the ace pin Zack Sabre Jr. Clean as a whistle. They've traded victories back and forth, whether it's G1, whether it's British Heavyweight Championship, whether it's New Japan Cup, you name it. They have been locked in combat for years, to your point. But again, 15 minutes. We see what Zack Sabre Jr. is willing to do, how far he's willing to go in 15 minutes. we've also seen how counter-resourceful and how effective at Tokyo Dome the Ace has been. This is the Ace's stage, but this is Zack Sabre Jr.'s championship, and he wants to try and make it at least 2v20. And I'm pretty sure Katsuyori Shibata is still on his radar to defend this title against. Casey, let's start with you. What's your thoughts on this TV championship match run, and do you see the Ace getting a new piece of gold, or does Zack Sabre Jr. once again overcome the Ace at Tokyo Dome?
If I've got the pencil, Zack Sabre Jr. evens the score. And we have the moment that we've seen so often between Tana and Okada. We have that moment here between Tana and Zack. That moment of, I think you and I are destined to do this forever. Because their matches are never boring.
Well, no one wrestles like Zack Sabre Jr. either in the world, if we're being perfectly honest here. Zero, what's been your thoughts of the inaugural run presentation of Zack Sabre Jr. in this Television Championship? And is the Ace the one to overcome him within the 15-minute mark?
For the belt, that looks like a YouTube play button.
Yes.
It's quite unfair.
He's not wrong.
No, it's not. To look like a giant cookie, but
Giant cookie.
I would pick the Ace because why not? But it'll be crazy to see Zack literally tapping out his own boss.
I really want to see Zack Sabre Jr. tap out his own boss.
Yes.
Yeah, you won't work here no more.
I'm gonna fire him, strip.
I think Tanahashi has more integrity than that. And to be fair,
oh no, Zack's gonna say you won't work here no more. You're not gonna be fit for work anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna have to stay behind the desk.
You're gonna have to stick to. You gotta stick to your just. You gotta have to stick to your just job for a while, dickhead.
Yeah,
Party's over, Grandpa.
Guess what? I think the joke. So, the smart money is basically Zack because Zack is the only guy who's literally built. He's literally built from rubber bands. So basically, he could just do a whole octopus stretch, like literally. So I would pick Zack because ZSJ,
the new rubber band man.
Yes,
the vegan Hydra,
the leader of the rubber band.
That's a bit redundant, but that's also accurate.
And the guy who has pretty much built an entire, I don't want to say division, but minor title scene pretty much with his own hands.
He's the he's the first champion that's about to have 20 title defenses. That's
more than
crazy.
Orange Cassidy, and that's more than Gunther. You're absolutely correct. He's on his way to V20. And his closest defeat was against Speedball Mike Bailey at 14 minutes and 55 seconds, to the point he had to force him to tap by breaking his very fingers on his hand.
Yeah.
What a match.
And that's Speedball Mike Bailey we're talking about. Jesus Christ.
Speedball Mike Bailey, Tomohiro Ishii, Jeff Cobb, Satoshi Kojima. I'm just saying, the list goes on and on.
It's like falling off a log with this guy.
I mean, the only one he hasn't bested is Bryan Danielson, which of course we'll talk about later. That being said, Kuzan, what's your thoughts on the NWA World Television Championship? And since everybody's talking about breaking the Ace's arm, again, the Ace caught Zack Sabre Jr. in a neck cradle. Simple roll-up maneuver, but Zack Sabre Jr. prides himself on technical wrestling. Technical wrestling is defined by submitting your opponent, forcing their will to break or breaking their body. But could this be the stage and the match where something as simple as a roll-up or a Euro clutch maybe defeats the Ace? So what's your take on this match, Kuzan?
The championship has been in a state where it literally debuted last year.
Yes.
We're in a position where we can go one of two ways. We can either break the cycle and have a moment where a championship gets passed over, and we could be in a thing where this could be like a repeating cycle. Like every Wrestle Kingdom, like have that kind of like a new dynamic, much in the same way of like having an unspoken dynamic of like Undertaker's WrestleMania streak and stuff like that. That kind of vibe to it. But no, like
you're talking about in such a way that it becomes almost an integral part of the Wrestle Kingdom card.
exactly, yeah, it becomes some sort of like culture to Wrestle Kingdom itself. Gives the actual show a bit more value.
Okay.
I might be thinking a bit too broad there, but I think what Zack Sabre Jr. has done with this belt is very good. He has definitely brought a lot more prestige to it than I think a lot of people will give him credit for. I definitely believe a lot more in Zack Sabre Jr. than I did a year ago. And I think you can put your... I think to me, this is... If you want to look behind the curtain, this is Tanahashi wanting to test Zack Sabre Jr. with a hands-on approach of if you are a lifer for my company. This could be the test for Zack Sabre Jr. where in a few years to come, he could be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Hopefully.
Which is long overdue for him, if you ask me.
But I mean, how many times has he won the New Japan Cup and challenged Kazuchika Okada and nearly broke his arm, including at Hyper Attack, I think literally 2 years ago, and didn't win the IWGP Heavyweight Version 4 Heavyweight Championship?
Well,
I have an answer for that.
Well, I do as well. Let me get this out real quick, Kuzan, and then we'll go to you.
Sure.
We obviously saw it with Okada. We've seen it with Tanahashi. We saw it with Kenny Omega. We most recently saw it with Sonata. Every dog eventually has his day. As long as Zack is able to stay healthy, his time will come.
Well, he has only been involved 6 years in the company, to your point, while Tanahashi's been involved for the better part of over 2 decades. So
a quarter century, Jesus.
And again, the one of the century talent, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Kuzan, you have one last thought before we move on?
So I'm thinking of this in a sense of a business perspective for New Japan Pro Wrestling, in a sense that New Japan is about to, as they always do every year, they are about to lose a lot of staff and a lot of wrestlers on their hand because everyone just disappears, right? Now, with that, it has it builds a lot of empty spots for people to fill into because opportunity happens when people disappear. And I am in the belief that Zack Sabre Jr. is going nowhere fast in terms of wanting to go to any other company, but he's going absolutely full speed ahead with his career. And I believe that Zack Sabre Jr. will probably be in the upcoming few years, he's probably going to be the one to be New Japan's pillar.
All right.
Again, that's just my belief in that, but that's where my head's at with Zack.
It's something I definitely like to see happen for him. He certainly earned it in the 6 years he's been in the company.
And this title is supposed to be represented and basically showcased and opportune to younger talent. Zack Sabre Jr. still is a young talent, not only in his career, but in New Japan Pro Wrestling, 6 years. And this Wrestle Kingdom truly is showing a lot of, to your point, the next torchbearers, the next headliners to come to be billed in New Japan Pro Wrestling after how many credible talents came back from Excursion, including a couple in this match. So great thoughts all around. And I believe, Zero, you'll start this one off because you want to talk about talent that came back from Excursion. Take a look at this one, guys. Yota Tsuji versus Uyo Yamera, and their singles record stands at 15-10 and 22 in Yota Tsuji's favor. Of course, Yota Tsuji came back from Excursion from Mexico and challenged Sonata immediately with a Gene Blaster Spear for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Dontaku. Came up short with an incredible first impression and became part of Los Fashions Ingobernables de Japón. Uyo Yamera was on Excursion Impact Wrestling. He came back and joined just 5 guys, and he was able to finally trap Tsuji in a roll-up to get this one-on-one match. You forget about Yota Tsuji and Uyo Yamera's time together in the New Japan Dojo system. The countless matches, the one-ups against one another. It's still an unbelievable record, the fact that literally they're 15-10 and 22. That's how many times they face each other. But they've never had a more important match than this one. This is both men's Wrestle Kingdom main card level debut one-on-one action. And Yoda Tsuji has already been held up as one of the three musketeers of the Rewa era of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Uya right now has a lot to live up to. So that being said, Zero, what's been your thoughts of these two men's return to New Japan Pro Wrestling? And who do you think gets it done in the Tokyo Dome? Or you see the time limit. Do you think this actually could go to a 30-minute draw?
Well, first, before I do that, I just want to say hi to Colin. Hello.
Appreciate you,
For
Colin.
you. So yeah, and let's
Save us
just
some
talk.
prime cuts, my guy.
Hey,
Yep,
man.
and take care of your family and yourself always. Looking forward to chatting again with you some point and out no DQ. But go ahead, Zero.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be very honest with you. I didn't see much of Yuya. All I saw was the tribal chief himself, the head of the table, Yoda Tsuji. When I saw him walk down and he speared Sonata, I was like, that's my boy right there, bro. Go ahead. All hell the chief.
That's a spear that takes a man out of his boots and off the mat, quite literally. That Gene Blaster, good grief.
When I see it, bro, Tsuji has some grills on him. Quarter on. When he smiles, I'm like, oh my God.
And people need to be worried when that smile comes up. Ask Will Ospreay. Of course, Will Ospreay previously defended his title against Yoda Tsuji earlier last year during the Destruction Tour. And Yoda Tsuji took Will Ospreay quite a bit.
Bro, Tsuji has a future. So,
And a
who's
very
gonna
bright
win?
one at that.
Very bright, bro. His genes is on point. So
Different
like
DNA, to say the least. But where does Uyemura stand? Where does Heat Storm? How much of the heat does he bring? And is it enough to ground Yoda Tsuji with that perfect bridging suplex spin?
they gave this man a Godzilla promo package, bro.
Yes, they did.
What the fuck, bro? This
Dude,
man,
I reckon when
dude,
Destruction
like-
comes forward,
I need to
Japan
see,
Wrestling.
dude. I need to see what they do for that Godzilla video package now that
Bro.
-1 is out.
I was like, yo, ain't no way that they have high hopes for him so much. They give him a Godzilla video package, bro.
It was pretty sweet.
And you know at Wrestle Kingdom, everyone's going to get an updated Titantron as per usual.
But yeah, so my pick is the tribal chief himself, Yoda Tsuji.
Fair enough.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
that, you know, it almost makes me wonder when I look at Yoda Tsuji and his presence and the fact that Naito called upon him. You got to consider in every faction, someone else has to step up in that leading role.
He's going to be
Not
the
even-
leader soon.
You think it's going to be the leader, huh?
Mhm.
He's the next one.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that comes to fruition. Could January 4th be a example of what his power and leadership could bring besides Tranquilo?
Once
Kuza, what's
Naito
your...
retires, it's not going
Ah.
to be Hiromu. It's going to be Yoda Tsuji.
I don't know if I would go that far. As far as Naito retiring, I think he still has a lot left. We'll talk more about that
He
when we get
does.
to the main event. Kuza, what's been your thoughts on these two's journey back into New Japan Pro Wrestling? Now, truth be told, Uyemura has only been part of New Japan Pro Wrestling in his return 6th excursion since back at Ryogoku Sumo Hall, of course, for that destruction card. So, yes, he has not had the same amount of time so far as Yoda Tsuji in New Japan, but he's already made quite a statement. He's made his intentions known. He wants to go after Sonata, if he holds on, for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. In fact, he wants to take on all 5 members of just 5 guys. The mentality of 5 guys is a whole different conversation. And I think that goes to Uyemura's mindset and what he wants to do now he's back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But in order to do that, I think he wants to close the book on Yoda Tsuji because Yoda Tsuji has kind of gotten the better of him, moreover. Not just in the record, but I think just literally since both their returns and excursion. So, Kuza, what's your thoughts on this unique singles exhibition?
Yeah, Tanahashi's son looks weird. That's the immediate reaction I had when I saw
Alright.
Yuya. Yeah, Yuya looks young, man. He looks like a really young Tanahashi. It's crazy. It is incredibly close. It's crazy.
And to think Yoda Tsuji, if y'all remember, was Hiroshi Tanahashi's young lion.
Yeah, it's cursed actually. It's weird. This is a story I didn't think I would have a lot of interest in. The idea of two young lions now growing up and fighting for the right to be called the best is such a simple story that I'm amazed how well they have presented it. Because I'll be honest, I have not followed these two at all whatsoever, right?
Fair.
And I am really looking forward to the match.
Again, you
It's
only
gonna be
get one
good.
first impression at Wrestle Kingdom, and I think these two are going to give us quite a first impression to really think about them both going into 2024. Casey, what's your thoughts on these two men since their return for Excursion, and who you think here maybe needs the win more? I mean, again, when you're Ingobernables, you're always got that sense of tranquilo. It's a group of individuals under Naito in that same principle. Uyemura, he's kind of in a united group that wants to change everything, but the change takes a different presence and identity, I think, with Uyemura versus the other members in Just Five Guys. I think both men are clearly out here to prove a point when you consider, again, come up after this. We already know the New Japan Cup will be happening in March. You got the New Beginning Tour. And, of course, New Year's Dash. You need to define what 2024 is going to bring for you because that night, anything can possible because we don't know the card. So, with Yota Tsuji having the stronger first impression, I think, since his return from Excursion. What's your take on this? And do you think this is a win that Uyemura needs more?
I do. And I believe that Yuya Uemura is actually going to do a lot of growing, not necessarily physically, but definitely in terms of his wisdom, his in-ring work, his in-ring presence, and the way his mind works and thinks through matches. We're going to see a much different Yuya Uemura coming out of 2024 than we are coming into 2024. And to Zero's point, I believe losing this match is going to drive Yota Tsuji to a pretty dark place.
Give me a high five. Yeah. Dude, let's do this.
The virtual window thing. He just did the Batman. He just caught you on the opposite side.
Yeah.
All right.
Bamboozled.
It's been very there's very fair spots here where, again, this is the first time these two are challenging each other in the main event capacity of Tokyo Dome. So again, they have to put up and show out within 30 minutes. And I think a draw would definitely lead to more speculation, especially to leave you wanting more from these two. But again, they're going to be around for the long haul, and one of them needs to get a big win here to start off the new year. And I really just want to see a decisive winner. I think it's going to be a great contest. But if I were to pick one, I kind of want to pull for Uya because right now I feel more pressure is on him. Yota Tsuji already had two great first impressions challenging for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in less than 6 months. I'm just saying.
Right.
So again, pressure's on.
So
I think
Yota
on
is okay
men,
for a while.
Needs to win more.
Yeah, Yota is going to be okay for a while.
I think Yota Tsuji's in a good spot right now with what he's done so far and his explosive impact, not just the Gene Blaster Spear. But Uya right now needs to really bring more fire to his heat storm if he's really going to blow up and ignite in New Japan Pro Wrestling and not just be part of Five Guys.
I have a thing, by the way.
All right.
I have a thing, by the way. Yes. Yuya is a West Japanese collegiate wrestling champion. God damn. That dude is shoot real. Yes. That dude can kill people.
Yes.
Damn.
He wears that football jersey for a reason. He takes that 3-point stance for a reason, my friends. I'm just saying. All right. Well, good stuff here. Let's go ahead and move on to a tag exhibition. And
I'm about to rant.
I know, but let's go ahead and be careful about not spending too much time on this. I'm just going to say this real quick before I give this to you. I feel that Siri versus Mayu Iwatani for the IGP Women's Championship should be in this match place, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Good luck to both women at Tokyo Dome City Hall on the Stardom's first show of the new year. Congratulations to Maika, by the way, on winning the World of Stardom Championship from Suzuki, and congratulations to Ami Sarai winning the Wonder Stardom Championship from Arai. Go check out Dream Queendom, folks. It is on YouTube for free. That is premier Japanese professional wrestling of the highest degree. Thank you.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's sad that we don't have any IWGP Women's Championship presence on this card. And honestly, at this point, this might as well be the filler moment to talk more about that versus this. But I'm not going to disrespect Shota Umino and Kato Kiyomiya, who are looking to make an impression at the Tokyo Dome against this. Evil and sold out Ren Arena. That's all I got to say about that. At the new year, the new year, it was the Pro Wrestling Noah crew that got the better of the House of Torture.
God.
I expect the same thing here as Kato Kiyomiya makes his New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom debut. And Shota Umino, who won his Wrestle Kingdom debut last year in 6-man tag team match alongside Roshi Tanahashi and the now retired Keiji Muto. I expect the Pro Wrestling Noah New Japan Pro Wrestling Hybrid duo to go over. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. Now that we talked about that, let's go ahead and talk about women's wrestling, shall we? And you can also talk about Kato Kiyomiya and freaking Shota Umino.
I'm about to get on Kaito's ass in a minute, bro.
All right. So
now what do you mean by that?
This man spending more.
Okay, let's focus on the wrestling.
Bring your ass back to Noah, bro. What the fuck you doing, dog?
He isn't Noah. What you talking about?
Why he coming to New Japan then?
Okay, well if you let Noah Foster finish, then you can make your point. Damn, bro.
This man pissing me off, bro.
All right. It is what it is with this match. If I were to pick one match that I'm like, I wish this wasn't on this card. This should have been on the road to Tokyo Dome or left alone at the Noah show. It's this one. Basically, what happened during the World Tag League, Ren Arena and Shota Umino were a duo. Ren Arena sold his soul to Evil, and joined House of Torture close to the finals night. As far as Kato Kiyomiya, House of Torture invaded Pro Wrestling Noah and has assaulted Kato Kiyomiya and Ryo Uira, who are looking for Noah Tag Team Gold, which brought us here to the summit that was set a little bit on January 2nd at the New Year Noah show, where Shota Umino and the Noah contention beat the House of Torture and I believe 6 or 8-man tag team action.
It was a 6-on-6.
The fallout, and now the fallout is here with Umino and Kiyomiya looking to put Evil and Narita in their place at the Tokyo Dome instead of versus Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship. So it's really just it's a tag grudge match. Just be perfectly honest.
It really sucks.
It really shouldn't be
for the women. I mean,
So let's go ahead and change gears and talk more about the women, shall we? So as we know, Mayu Iwatani sustained injury, and it's prevented her from defending the title of Dream Kingdom. But Siri called her out for a challenge at Tokyo City Hall, which will be prior to Wrestle Kingdom. And the Women of Stardom will be in action there. We know we got Micah and Megan Bain taking on Suzu Suzuki and Julia. Oh, by the way, congrats to Julia successfully retaining the Strong Women's Championship against Megan Bain. Great contest, by the way. We have, as I said earlier, Siri challenging Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship and much more. I guess for me, maybe they're trying to figure out what to do with the IWGP Women's Championship because Mayu Iwatani has not had that many defenses. I think her last defense was against Stephanie Valkyra at Lone Star Shootout, and she hasn't had a challenger since then. And I think that's because she was injured. But Siri, of course, former World of Stardom champion and also undefeated under Ultimate Wrestling Federation rules after being Scandinavian Hurricane in her third contest. It's almost like Siri's trying to find a different direction now in Stardom. And I think her winning this title would be a great idea. I think she would also bring more presence to New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom as its champion. So that being said, you ranted, but let's talk about that match coming up at the Tokyo City Hall. Maybe what you think about what should happen with the IWGP Women's Championship. And if you want to say anything else about Kato Kiyomiya and Shota Umino, Zero, I'll let you do so. So Zero, go ahead.
I've got a lot of they don't know what to do with the IWGP's women's title is bizarre world to me because they could do a lot. They just don't know specifically how to do it because there's a lot of contenders that could go for that belt. It doesn't have to be from Stardom. It could be from other promotions because I was watching Actress Girls a few times. Good shit, by the way. So there's a lot of people she could defend the title against because one, there's a lot of freelancers out there, especially
Definitely.
in the world of Joshi, which is a lot somehow. That's crazy to me. So they could easily just find one day, like, hey, just be like, hey, I want a challenger. I don't care where you're from. Just come fight me. And then somebody was like, hey, what's up, me? But yeah, but I feel bad for them because looking at this match, the tag match, it's so random. Like you told me the story, but this match doesn't have to be in Wrestle Kingdom, bro.
I
This,
completely agree.
yeah, this could have been in the road to. This could even. They don't even have this. This could even be in the Noah show because the thing is that the whole me and this guy over here watched the
That's
Noah
me.
show. Yes, you. But yeah, we watched the Noah show today before
Nice.
it was on here.
Same.
Jesus Christ. But
Bush, get well soon, you crazy fool. God bless you.
I'm tired of the Ibushi slander. Saying he fall off, that pissed
It's
me
it's
off.
a joke. It
Yeah,
not
no,
to
but-
like derail. It's a joke.
I know, but that shit just pissed me off. But
Don't let it bother you, brother. Anyway,
I know.
continue your
so
thoughts here.
this tag match should have been somewhere else. Should have had the women's title match on there because let's give the women a Tokyo Dome show. Well, not a Tokyo Dome show, but a match because it's a part of the International Wrestling Grand Prix title thing. Because basically every title is on the line here, right?
Pretty much.
So why not the freaking GP women's title? Huh?
Zero.
Yes, Poppy.
First of all, I'm too white to be a poppy.
Orderly. Anyway, continue.
Second, you mentioned the International Wrestling Grand Prix. Why the hell was that not the name that all the promotions chose to unite under?
Because the thing
Global
is,
Honor Crown.
IWGP is defined more so under New Japan Pro Wrestling. The other promotions have their own identity. Again, Noah is the Global Honor Crown. Of course, DDT is the KO-D, excuse me.
Yeah.
And of course, All Japan Pro Wrestling is the Triple Crown. By the way, congratulations to Kazuhiko Nakajima, such defending
My
against
boy.
Kenta Miyahara, an incredible
Tapped
contest.
his ass out.
And channeled his own Inokiism with his entrance and his brand new look, adorned in white, a clean slate for the King of Kick. So again, you gotta consider that every promotion in Japanese pro wrestling has their own identity. They're not all IWGP. IWGP is just one of the leaders in the Japanese pro wrestling industry, which is why it's talked about so much. And NJPW started this whole Frontiers campaign to bring other Japanese promotions talent in to like kick off shows and just breaking ground showcases against the likes of Hiroyoshi Tensen and of course the coach Ryusuke Taguchi. So you gotta keep that in hindsight, man. So
Team 69.
It's a copyright issue too. No one wants to, because if you do that, then New Japan have kind of a bit of leg room to kind of take the piss as a business, and you don't want to do that.
Especially in this new direction of management led by Hiroshi Tanahashi as new president. Thank you, Obari, for everything you did. Okay, well, before we move on, now that Zero got his thoughts out regarding that tag match and the state of the women's championship, does anyone have anything else to add regarding the IWGP Women's Championship? Do you think Siri dethrones Mayu Itani? And at this point, do you have anything else to say about this duo? Is it a one-off, or do you want long-standing with Shota Umino and Kato Kiyomiya?
I love Shitter.
I've got a little bit of a thing.
Go ahead.
So in terms of the IWGP Women's title, the question was last year, because I went back and watched our podcast just so I could like keep some notes. The question was a lot of confusion going on about, okay, so is this only defended in New Japan then? The obvious answer now is that it's an open source. It's owned by New Japan, but it's an open source and can be defended anywhere.
It was even defended in Stardom last year against Utami Hayashita when Tommy lost.
Yeah. So this title has only been defended in total 7 times. It's been a year. Like, it's been more than a year. It's ridiculous. You know? Like, I understand injuries and injuries. That's fine. I completely get that. I'm not in any way blaming any of the wrestlers whatsoever.
Right.
However, when... I don't know how serious I want to get with this. When the first ever Wrestle Kingdom had women who absolutely deserved to have their spot on TV be a dark match, and then later on in the year, one of those people is no longer around, like, you owe it to them to actually care and to actually make an effort, you know? Like, I'm not, you know, super, like, blown up or, like, pissed off or whatever about it.
Nah,
All I'm saying is you have a responsibility for this. This should mean something, right? And you should be definitely putting some women, it doesn't matter how, in the case of this match as well. This match being here is completely fine. Last year we had 12 matches. This year we have 11 matches. You can have a 5-minute women's match. It's fine, right? There are 7 hours on this show. Come on now.
Yeah,
like, you can do something.
Well, hopefully New Year's Dash might break ground on the IWGP Women's Championship after we see if Siri defeats Mayu Iwatani in Tokyo City Hall. And I'm definitely going to check that out.
Can I just say real quick before we move on?
Yes.
This is the kind of situation where I really miss somebody like Kagetsu.
Oh my god,
yes,
man!
The former leader of Oedo. You are so correct.
I love Kagetsu so much.
He redefined
like, I'm so happy.
Tai so damn well, and of course was a previous World of Stardom champion.
I have to say it this way, by the way, he is living life so good right now. I'm so happy for them.
And people choose what they want to do. I have no right to judge. And I figure for what they did and what else they do, that's their own. I don't dictate people's lives, nor should I chastise them. You are responsible for yourself. So there you go. And people need to realize that with social media dipshits.
For this tag team match, by the way, it's fine. It doesn't have a match whatsoever. It makes no sense, and I believe it's going to be a completely dead match. However, I am really happy that Kaido, Shota, Evil, and Ren are getting a match and getting a payday.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're working for a paycheck, and we also got to keep that in perspective. Even if the match might as well be buffer.
But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't boo it as well.
Well, I mean, I guarantee you, now we know we got Tokyo Dome with 100% audio capability. I guarantee you there will be, there's still that respect, though, in the discipline of Japanese pro wrestling expectations. So I do think this match will be acknowledged to a degree, fairness, but I can still hear the people saying, go home in Japanese for House of Torture, because you know that freaking Paraha of Evil is going to get involved. Probably Yoshima Kawamaro and freaking Yujiro Takahashi will get involved too. It'll probably be a gang warfare after the loss of Pro Wrestling Noah. Either way, as long as the good guys win, I think that's all people want in the end. And Shota Umino and Kaito Kiyomiya particularly deserve that moment at Wrestle Kingdom.
Big
Shota Umino is a future Wrestle Kingdom main eventer. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, stop crying, bro. You're fine. Chill.
No, it's a hot take, and it's a fair take. I agree. It's a very
Love
strong,
you, man.
It's a very strong point too. Speaking of strong, let's go ahead and talk about the BMF title, shall we?
Oh my god, man!
Championship against Tama Tonga.
Yes,
this title finally feels right. As the record stands with these two at 1-0-1. Last year, Tama Tonga beat David Finlay, of course, and regained the championship after coming back from the injury. Yeah, I know. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. And then Tama Tonga, of course, demonstrated his strong spirit after calling out Shigeru Takagi for a challenge after they went to a 20-minute draw during last year's G1 Climax. And Shigeru Takagi endured a war against my boy, Tomohiro Ishii, across the pond in UK. You know that very well, Kuzan, at Royal Quest 3. Of course, Shigeru Takagi regained the title at Lone Star Shootout against Tama Tonga and has had one challenge so far against Trent and has called in for his rematch. Takagi simply said, "You are perfect for me to rampage over in the Tokyo Dome." So
That's
we have
crazy.
a BMF strong style rematch of two of the strongest spirits and hardest hitters and honorable fighters on the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster for the most rugged title in the business, the Never Openweight Championship. This is going to be fun.
This is gonna be good.
Kuzan, your thoughts on the Never Openweight Championship. Shinya Takagi, we know how far he took this title last time in front of a silent crowd against the likes of Jeff Cobb, Tama Tonga. He's definitely an honorable man, and he will never stop fighting. Tama Tonga could surprise us. He did win the Never Openweight Championship last year against Carl Anderson. Do you think Tama does it again? This is the title that more frequently changes at the Tokyo Dome, being perfectly honest.
So, I think this match will be fantastic, and I'm really happy that these two are getting a big storyline behind them. However, I'm not happy with the fact that Tama Tonga is in the same position as he was last year. That's just me being selfish. I'm not trying to be negative or like cynical or whatever.
No, I
I
got
would
you.
I would love Tama Tonga to be doing something different. But I would also like him to be in this feud as well. So I don't really know what the answer is. I don't know if it would be better in my if I had the book or the pen or whatever. I don't know where you would put him on this card. Otherwise. So I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of a difficult thing to say that I want Tama Tonga to be in a different position, you know? I don't know what the answer
That's
is. I'd
fair.
love to get your input.
Well, the way I see it is this. Tama Tonga, ever since his, dismissed from Bullet Club and finding a new life in himself and a newfound confidence on his own as a single star, no longer even coming out alongside Jado, if you've noticed as of late, it's almost like he's just trying to carve his path, but also he's a guy that recognizes talent and can literally lead the future. As Neverweight Championship has morphed into what it originally was, let's keep this in mind. The Neverweight Championship was originally the U30 Championship. It was meant for people under 30 years old that were bright prospects for the business. And ironically enough, Tama Tonga and Shitakagi, they're both over 40. This title has been morphed into a rugged, never say die, never surrender attitude championship for the baddest MFer in the business. It's one of those things where I think Tama Tonga, I don't think he needs this, but he could further, I feel, maybe fine-tune it, because for the last couple of years, let's be honest, this title has been lost in identity, lost in the shuffle between Jay White, Tanahashi, and of course Evil. That's literally, and Carl Anderson holding it hostage with his big money contract in WWE. This title has not been presented to the same degree you remember it, carried by the likes of Tomohiro Ishii and Katsuyori Shibata and Jeff Cobb, if we're being perfectly honest here. And honestly, I kind of wish it was Jeff Cobb or Shinya Takagi, because I think that should be run back in front of a fully vocalized audience. A sleeper match with Wrestle Kingdom 15, in my personal opinion.
Jeff and Shingo in front of a crowd? Yes.
So I think with that aspect, I think you're right. I think Tama Tonga can go in a different direction. And for that to happen, he doesn't need the Neverweight Championship. I think Shingo needs to retain it. And let's keep in mind, last year at Wrestle Kingdom 17, he came in as KOPW. And yes, he of course won that title, but that wasn't even on the main card. She goes back on the main card after 2 years, where last time in this position, he made events and then lost to Kazuchika Okada, the IWGP Worldwide Championship. While he was able to hold the weight of that title for what it was worth for that period of time, I think the Neverweight Championship is the perfect title for Shingo Takagi for the duration of his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And again, the dude's over 40 years old, and he still freaking can clock you dead in half with a freaking pumping bomber. This is gonna be a great... Exactly, it's going to be time, not tea time. It's going to be one of those matches that's going to be definitely one of my matches I can't wait to see, because I love strong style. I love hard-hitting physical affairs that demonstrate the strongest will that prevails. And I think Shinya Takagi is the stronger will for the duration of a longer-standing Never-Openweight champion. So I think Shingo needs to go over here, and Tama just shakes his pan and go off in a different direction. Zero, let's go with you next. We'll save Casey for last here. What's your thoughts on this title match, this title outlook, and do you think Tama Tonga needs the Neverweight Championship back?
I want Tama to have his singles Wrestle Kingdom moment. because boy, Tama had a good ass year. This
Did.
man, ever since he like from him against Jay White, well, that was 2 years ago. But he been a really fun guy to watch because Tama is just that dude. And I'm happy I'm happy he's finally getting the love and recognition from being a single star because
Getting his flowers.
my man getting his
Long
flowers
overdue.
really overdue. But like I love Shingo. Shingo, when I first laid my eyes on him, bro, I saw him murdered the whole junior, the whole juniors
With
division.
the
in
exception of
tournament.
Ospreay, yes, he obliterated that division. You're not wrong.
I was like, this man is something special, bro. I can't wait till he kills the heavyweight. This man built stupid. How you be a junior and you fight like a heavyweight and just murdered, lawn-mowed through everybody you see, bro?
Wait, Shingo's a junior?
He
was a
was
junior.
when he first
Oh.
debuted. Yeah. When he first debuted his big stalky ass.
Oh,
Yep.
because in Fire Pro World, he's a junior.
Bingo,
Yeah.
Kuzan. Bingo.
I forgot about. Oh my god.
When he first debuted, Junior murdered the whole division in the whole tournament, undefeated. Strong arm king, baby. And just, bro, this man was a menace to society. He was bad
Still
news.
is a menace to society. Just ask.
And now he's the
Tony
neverweight
Oh.
champion again. But also keep in mind, guys, neverweight championships have lost at V0, if not maybe average V4. This is his second defense in this run. Tama lost it at V0. So Tama's on a match of redemption here, while Shingo's on a match of perseverance.
Tama's gonna probably win, but I hope Shingo still looks good because I want him to be world champion again. Because
I figured that's where you were going.
It's the fucking dragon, brother. He's gonna look good no matter what.
The
But
rampaging
Casey,
dragon.
Yeah. Well, Casey, you remember Wrestle Kingdom 16 after he lost to Okada, right? He said
was
he would
nice,
start back at ground zero if it meant getting back to that point. Obviously, he wants to get back there. And last year at the Wrestle Kingdom, he challenged Okada for that very title when both men were at 100% in front of a full vocal audience at the New Beginning and came this close to winning the IWGP Pro Heavyweight Championship. Now he starts up 2024 in a new direction, once again, the Never Openweight Championship. So, Casey, your thoughts on this match?
I think I'm with Kuzan here.
Yeah.
But I think one thing we can all agree on: this is going to be a goddamn war between these two.
As neverweight title matches should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga needs a change of not necessarily presentation, but definitely direction. He's had a good, solid foundation with the Never Openweight Championship as a single star.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for him to start chasing. Man, I really wish they still had the IWGP Intercontinental title.
You and me both.
They
Line of the night.
teased it.
They did.
This whole
they did. They absolutely did. But also, Naito even talked about, but even Naito at this point says, I wouldn't split them. So you got to proceed with the future, guys.
Why do you even bring that up, bro? I was so upset. You have no idea how angry I was when I heard that.
Yeah.
And I'm like a really chill dude. I was really upset.
We all were. It was the most prestigious white letter strap title in existence. And the fact that people like Tomohiro Ishii, for example, couldn't even get to that title still irks me to this day. And of course, Tomohiro Ishii, one of the most notorious neverweight champions in this title's history. So.
Yeah, you love baseball, right? No, Naito, I don't like baseball. I want to fucking hit you with a baseball bat in the head. Die forever, dude.
I showed him the whole interview between
oh my god, furious. Morbius, right?
So he's watched the interviews then for Wrestling
Yeah,
Kingdom.
furious. I was mortified, horn-boggled. No,
He was about to say it's Kuzan time.
Oh Lord.
I have it in my head.
Yes.
Tama Tonga should go to Rev Pro and have a killer feud with Michael Oku
Yes.
with the Rev Pro title, because I'm in the belief, because I've been watching Michael Oku for a little bit now. If you don't know who Michael Oku is, he's the Rev Pro World Champion. Go and have a look at the highlight video that he's got up on his YouTube channel with him and Will Ospreay. That match, storyline wise and wrestling wise, is incredible. It is amazing. Will Ospreay nearly kills his girlfriend with a hidden blade. I'm like, what
that hidden
blade, bro?
That was like something out of a Disney movie where the damsel came to the aid of her man.
It was really good.
Died a valiant death.
No, Tama Tonga. I'm in the belief that Tama Tonga should absolutely stay a babyface. Do not change it. You can change his appearance back to the long hair and the beard. I think that looks way nicer here, but keep his gear. But you should absolutely have him as a killer heel in Rev Pro. I think that would do him a lot of good.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting way to go off on excursion and redefine himself. It's not a bad shot, and technically Hontai is not even Rev Pro present, so he could literally try and start maybe his own faction there and even do some talent scouting. So again, a very fair shout. Either way, we could honestly say this Neverweight Championship is one we've been excited for probably after the last 3 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these two tear it up, and we'll see who the stronger spirit is to deserve to be called the Neverweight Champion. Speaking of strong spirits and speaking of the strongest, let's go ahead and talk about the tag team scene and talk about a very interesting tag team dynamic. As the 3-time consecutive and first time in history current holders of the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships not only won the World Tag League, but dictated their Tokyo Dome competition. Arguably the best tag team since the Guerrillas of Destiny, and their Tokyo Dome record right now is the only difference of these two teams, in my opinion. It's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi Bishamon defending the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships against the current strong Openweight Tag Team Champions that they're reclaiming from the War Dogs and taking the finalists and the current heavyweight champions to the limit. ELP and Hikuleo, GOD, DNA. After the near 40-minute final classic that these two put on to determine the winner of last year's World Tag League, Bishamon respected it so much and wanted to settle the record because they are now 1-1, and they decided to put everything on the line. Now, in the history...
So whoever walks out of this match with the win is walking away with all the gold.
That's correct. It's double gold, winner takes all. And there have been 4 changes by 4 tag league winners in a row up to this point. Keep that in mind. And the last 2 times, Bishamon came in as challengers and won gold. They beat Dangerous Techers back in 2016, and they beat FTR back at 17. But this time, they're not only coming as winners, they come in as champions and as challengers. So the history that Bishamon has continued to set. Casey, I start with you. Does Bishamon create history, continue their trend, their winning ways, their streak once again? Or does Hikuleo and Phantasmo leave with all the gold at the Tokyo Dome? Very interesting time.
Oh, it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Their first time ever.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But if it's but if it's up to me, I'm giving this one to GODNA. Because let's be honest, Hikuleo, Bishamon are in a position that not a whole lot of people find themselves in. They're coming in as both champions and challengers simultaneously. Right. That's kind of a weird dynamic to have to juggle in a match like this. especially when your team, when the team opposite you is as good as that of Hikuleo and frickin'
ELP.
ELP.
My bad.
I
You're
was like,
fine,
I
brother.
literally just saw him on screen. Why can I not think of his name?
For real,
It-
bro.
it-
Are you
it-
serious?
It's one of those. It's one of those things that's weird too because apparently, according to NJPW 1972, they call them the Gorillas of Destiny. It's the new Gorillas of Destiny, apparently.
I don't know why, but I was like,
I don't get it either. But again, God DNA, Hikuleo, the youngest brother, the tallest guy, surprise sleeper, semifinalist in the G1 last year, which still baffles me, but impressive. Anyway, continue, Casey.
So yeah, I think the push and pull dynamic of being both champions and challengers simultaneously is going to catch Bishamon off balance, and GODNA is going to take advantage of that to yank the gold out from under Bishamon's noses and not only retain the strong open weight tag team titles, but become the 100th IWGP heavyweight tag team champions.
That certainly would be a historic milestone to say the least here. And to my
And
knowledge,
where better to have it happen than Wrestle Kingdom?
and I don't think he has won a match at Wrestle Kingdom yet. He's been involved in KOPW and defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships and contesting for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So it would be a first win for him as well. And Hikuleo, this is his main card level Wrestle Kingdom debut. So I could honestly see that. And I do think right now, if they were to beat Bishamon 0, I think it'll be a passing of the guard. Arguably, right now, Bishamon is the best tag team in New Japan Pro Wrestling 3 years over with what they've been able to accomplish. And who would have thought somebody that was literally a joke, an adjective of a name because of his record at the time, Yoshihashi, would ascend to this type of greatness after the six-man never overweight title run, and Hiroki Goto for that matter, a guy that was really trained and endorsed by, of course, his friend Katsuri Shibata, and of course, Shibata and Goto, no strangers to tag gold. They've won gold together. It's almost like tag team wrestling has redefined Hiroki Goto, but it was always met for Yoshihashi. So with that sort of known synergy and chemistry there on a longer experience front, do you think that this up-and-coming tag team can get it done? Who do you got in this contest? Double gold, winner takes all.
Yoshihashi was once a fucking loser. Same with Goto. Goto is like, I forgot the term, but he was the one guy who could never get a big win. No matter what.
I think Steve Carino said that back at Wrestle Kingdom 11, and Goto won that one. But continue.
Bro, Goto tried to go so high, but keeps falling down. So it's crazy because both of them were once losers, till now they came together and now they're champions, bro. It's a crazy story,
right?
And
the punchlines got sick of being the punchlines.
Yes,
quite literally.
The punching bags starting to fight back.
Yep.
But like
punching bags sprouted surprisingly muscular arms and like, let's go, motherfucker.
When you fight your pillow, but the pillow fights back. But like,
what a unique cause and effect. Anyway, continue.
Yes, so I'm happy for them because they came a long way from being on the ground. Now they came a long way from being on the grass, and now
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah, and now
that's a fair shout.
They walk in the fucking sidewalk. So I would say they have been a great tag team, a unexpected tag team, but they've been great. So now GODNA or I will call them GODB team. They are now fighting for the gold. They holding silver. Now they fight for gold.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So I have a theory about that. I think the strong titles are going away. I don't know, like
I have to agree.
yeah, because
I can see that.
the strong open weight belt is being turned into a belt for the triple crown of AEW. And now we've seen the strong tag titles going to be merged with if GODNA wins,
Right.
the strong tag titles is going to be merged with the tag titles for New Japan. So it's kind of like a sign that I'm reading into. It's like, is the strong going away? Because there has been reports saying now, like apparently the US branch is kind of fallen, and now they're going to go more to Southeast Asia. So this is kind of like, if you put all the puzzle pieces together, it's kind of like strong's probably going away.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for Collision in Korea too.
Damn it.
Jack, shut up, son. But
He's not wrong because
he's not wrong because I think Korea is one of them. I don't know.
Well, I
But,
mean, again, you talked about like earlier that whole United Summit of all those Japanese companies together. You wonder that might have something else been going on with it when you look at what the purpose behind that is when it comes to connecting Japanese pro wrestling even further, but also having a more balanced, budget scheme as well when it comes to corporate selling and standings. And it is one of those things where the strong titles previously were won by Bishamon, if you remember, after Aussie Open had to vacate them due to Dunkzilla Mark Davis getting injured. By the way, Mark Davis, get well soon. Congrats to Kyle Fletcher, now the Ring of Honor World Television champion. And of course, we saw the Strong Championships heavily presented on the U.S. front in triple threats, could not limit to against previous champions, Motor City Machine Guns of TNA Impact Wrestling. But Bishamon have been straight up strictly just New Japan Pro Wrestling, whether they were holding both sets of titles or they only had the tag titles. And the only time they lost the actual heavyweight tag team championships was literally against Aussie Open last year at Sakura Genesis. Yeah, so it's one of those things where I do think that they are going through a bit of a change in presentation as far as the American brand goes and New Japan regular goes. Now, whether or not they merge the titles, to your point, like they did with the Triple Crown, which right now we're seeing all three titles, not one singular title. Again, congrats to Makina Kingston on accomplishing that feat and winning the Continental Classic.
Yonkers.
I do think Fisher right now is the best team to beat in Japanese wrestling, at least in Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it'll be a huge coup if Hikuleo and ELP do it, because I think Hikuleo and ELP have a lot to offer to the tag team division. It seems to be why Goto and Yoshihashi established it. I think GOD, whatever you want to call it, can elevate it. So I think they get it done here at the Tokyo Dome. I think that we're finally going to see a break in the trend at the Tokyo Dome for the winners of the World Tag League. And again, it's a first-time circumstance. Not just the winners of the Tag League, but the champions themselves are dictating their competition. I think that's not a better way to prove that you picked the best team to overcome you. So I think that GOD gets it done. That's my take. Kuzan, why don't you go ahead and round this out? Your thoughts on this?
So I absolutely see what everyone is saying, and I'm in agreement with Zero on the point of New Japan Strong's title probably merging. However, I don't care about this match whatsoever, and it hurts. It really hurts. Because New Japan's tag team division is strong. It's such a clash from every other company out there at the moment. Now you can say about like AEW and all that. Like I don't care. You know, there are so many people on that roster. It is ungodly to be able to keep up with it. I like AEW as well. You know, don't get me wrong.
It's a fair tangent. People say all the time. I mean, WWE and AEW both have an overinflated roster, and people have
It's
really
crazy.
questioned about their tag team divisions and the state of them and what they are and how you even know how many tag teams there really are versus who really are the champions, and doesn't matter at point who are the champions. It's a fair analysis. Please continue.
I am in the belief that between New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah, that they have the strongest tag team divisions in the world at the moment. That is my belief. That's my opinion. You know, and I don't care about this match, and it's on Wrestle Kingdom. I don't understand why I don't care. And I the only thing I can think of is because I'm again watching Godo and Yoshihashi, which I love. And I'm watching Hikuleo and ELP finally getting like a position and a slot that they can go into comfortably, and they can finally find themselves and like put their feet in the ground properly and establish that they are a valuable asset to the New Japan roster. And I just don't care. I don't understand. Like, I think from looking at stuff from last year, it seems like the only thing I can think of is that there are no stakes happening here. Now, you can say, obviously, with the championships and all that, that's big thumbs up, that's cool, you know?
Right.
And it sucks that I have to be negative. I hate it. I hate myself for being like this. But it just seems
it's a unique take, though, because, again, we can, kind of ponder on your point, and it might be one of those things where maybe you're not sure what the identity of the tag team division in New Japan Pro Wrestling is, and without some sort of like perspective on that, you kind of wonder why maybe you should invest in this when one team's going to have two sets of tag strats. Maybe that's part of the case there. Because again, you said yourself, you respect Fisherman. You like that. You want to see Galileo peak at the moment, but it also goes back to what I said about WWE, particularly in WrestleMania 39. Okay, there's the moment. What's the momentum? What does it lead to?
Yeah, what's happening next month? What's happening next year? What's happening with the factions? You know, like stuff like that. I super care about that kind of stuff. I am invested in. I love chaos still, even to this day. You know, I'm in love with the United Empire. I would say, if anything, are New Japan's strongest faction at the moment. They're incredible. Those guys, the Aussie Opens, dude, they are amazing. They are fantastic. You know.
No, that's Robbie Eagles and who?
Robbie Eagles.
Aussie Open is Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher.
Oh,
Mark
sorry,
Davis
I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Where's Robbie Eagles? What's he doing nowadays?
You're thinking of TMDK, and Robbie Eagles is a junior heavyweight. Yeah, you're welcome again.
It's been a long day.
The fact that one of those dudes is the Ring of Honor television champion, I don't care about Ring of Honor. I really don't care. I feel bad, but I don't care. But the fact that that dude is making a name for himself, not only as he's established himself as an incredible character on his own, an incredible character in a tag team, an incredible character as a singles wrestler and a champion. He is the thing that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch the television championship because I care about him. What are you going to do with him? I just don't.
You kind of don't feel that same way, and that draws you away from this match, correct?
Yeah, and it sucks, and I feel really bad. I feel like an asshole.
No, you good, bro.
I don't want to feel like that. I wasn't like this last year, bro.
Well, maybe something will change when the bell rings. Hindsight's 2020. There might be a cause and effect, and no one's going to hold it against you. I mean, again, to have that same level of expectation for everything at this card would be damn right lying out of the gate. But it is one of those things where you have a higher expectation for other matches versus others on this card. And I think in this case, you just want to see something really breathe out of this tag team division with one of these two teams at the forefront. But you're just not sure how to interpret it right now. And it's causing you to think of a way that you can't fully comprehend, allowing you to invest in this. And
I appreciate that you can click with what I'm saying here.
I try, because at the end of the day, I appreciate people that are honest, constructive with their opinions. It's like I say all the time, their opinions, because we're all just fans of this past we all share. So respect one another and support each other. And I respect that opinion, because it's nice to get a different take on a match, because it really challenges you to think a little bit more about it. And I think that also allows you to get more engaged with it based on whether or not your opinion holds up or you're proven wrong. And that's part of the joy of professional wrestling.
This man gets it a lot, bro. I swear to God.
Yo, me.
That's a lot of
Not
people
you,
have said
dickhead.
that.
This one right
A lot-
there, the one on top of you.
Me.
Well, a lot of people say that about me, but I know that Zero, you also get Japanese pro wrestling a lot. You also get this, so have fun. Talk about this one, bro. Let's
What you
talk
got
about
for
the
me? Oh
IWGP
my
Junior
God, my
Heavyweight
husband.
Championship. As Hiromu Takahashi defends the gold against arguably who he calls his rival, yet he calls him awesome, and he hates calling him that. El Desperado.
And
Okay.
finally, this match is on the stage it belongs.
In
My
front of a
husband,
fully
bro.
reactive audience. All right, so let's go ahead and slowly talk about what brought us here. Last year, it was a fatal four-way to determine the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, held by Taiji Ishimori taking on Master Wato, El Desperado, and Hiromu Takahashi. In the end, Hiromu won. He didn't pin the champion. He pinned Master Wato, but it wasn't enough for him there. He wanted closure. Throughout the entire year last year, he beat Master Wato, who won the Best Super Juniors. He finally beat Tajimori, the true original champion, at Osaka, and felt finally at least realistic enough he could wear the title around his waist. There's only one person that remains, the person that beat him at Wrestle Kingdom 16 in front of a semi-audible audience, El Desperado. And of course, these two have locked horns on previous occasions. You see the singles record right now. They are dead even, 3-3-1. And still their greatest war was, of course, that Best Super Juniors when Hiromu literally forced El Desperado to show a different side of himself underneath that mask. But here's the other thing. Both these men want the best for this division, best for the business. And in a way, why El Desperado wants to take this title so he can actually challenge himself around the world, it's like a gateway to him. Hiromu's done that within New Japan, including hosting the All-Star Junior Festival. He's right now trying to beat the personal best at V11 in Heat. He's currently tied right now at Prince Devitt, V7. This will be his 8th title defense. So, Zero, good luck. Moto. Where does the fun head after this? Does it still be led by Hiromu Takahashi, or once again, does El Desperado upset him in one-on-one action?
I love my husband, Hiromu. Like I love him to death, bruh. I am a big Hiromu fan.
I know.
Yeah, and as a Hiromu fan, I would say Hiromu is going to win, but I want a Desperado to be the one to take the title off of him because one thing I would say, the road to how we got here is this
1 year in the making.
Yes, but here's what's funny. Both men were doing side quests, bro. They were doing side quests. Hiromu decided to do like his side quest is making a whole big deal about juniors of pro wrestling. You know, all the juniors, or maybe you call them the cruiserweights, or maybe you call them the X division. He even got Enzo in a show. What? So
he said he wanted to make the juniors feel different, and I think this last year there's been more of a different but focus on the junior heavyweight division, unlike years before.
Yes. Meanwhile, on El Desperado side, this man, for some fucking reason, this ninja literally went to become a deathmatch wrestler, bro.
Against John Moxley, and
he had
of course,
he had one match against John Kasai, right? This man
in Freedoms.
No, I think it was Freedoms.
It was Freedoms because remember they had the tag team showcase in Corrigan Hall on Independence Day, and then they had the death match there at Freedoms and turned up a notch after he had final death in Independence Day against John Moxley. But yes, you're right. As this round disciplined himself to show he could become the strongest wrestler there is, His
story is
focus
beautiful.
for a good portion of last year was in death
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah, like it's like the story is beautiful because it's like it's a side quest to the main quest. And like the thing is, a Desperado, he had one match against Jun, and I would never forget the post match promo between a Desperado and Jun Kasai because it kind of had me emotional because the whole thing was like um Despy was like I would die to like get this victory. It, and John is like, don't. John was literally like, don't accept death because what's the point, bro?
Very fair point.
Yeah, like do not accept death. Death should not even happen because it's better being alive. Like that actually got me like emotional because of my struggles and shit like that. But
Respect.
yeah, but out of both guys, Despy is gonna win because he went through war. He even went to freedoms. You know how wild freedoms is, right? Freedoms in big Japan pro wrestling, bro. Like they are the catalyst of deathmatch wrestling, bro. So the fact that he went through there and literally got himself prepared to do anything it takes to win, Despy's gonna win. Meanwhile, Hiromu's over here. It's like, let's bring everybody together. Like his whole side quest is like a Yakuza game side quest. This goofy shit. So
Without the karaoke, yet he used a guitar
yeah,
against Amatsu one time in Nashville. It's a fair point.
he lost the Iron Metal Championship to his own belt, bro. What the fuck?
Well, that towel has its own journey and legacy, but it sounds like you're saying that Desperado takes his journey becoming the strongest he can in all styles, becoming the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kuzan, now I know you were very analytical and very critical in your stance on the tag division and these two tag teams clashing for all the tag team gold. Where do you stand with Hiromu and El Desperado? Where Hiromu even said that after this, he doesn't want to face El Desperado again in any less than the main event. Do you think these two, regardless of who wins here, could be the two junior heavyweights that define maybe a main event regarding the junior heavyweight title in the Tokyo Dome? Maybe something to think about, but also,
that'd be
who's
awesome.
your pick here?
I'm happy that this is a singles match.
I agree about that.
I'm really happy it's a singles match, not a fatal four-way. Because from everything that I've seen throughout the years, they're not bad, but they're not amazing. The singles matches are incredible. The Will Ospreay and Takahashi junior match was wow, amazing.
14.
So for them to say for them to like main event, it would take a lot. It would take a lot for them to do that. And I think there is definitely enough here to build upon it within the next couple of years, if that is the goal. I blame Starlight Kid for taking El Desperado to the hardcore division. Starlight Kid needs to pay for her like sins. She needs to figure it out, you know. No, like I'm super surprised that they're not talking about the whole like Los Incontables de Japón, like their faction members. So like, what? Like they're not talking about that like enough, maybe. But like I maybe that's just me like not seeing more deeply into it. Takahashi has a certain style to his stories. His promos are something that I struggle to grasp onto, but whenever I watch him, I'm grasped, I'm there, and I'm never like looking at my phone or whatever, right?
Yeah.
El Desperado's incredible, like my god, man. So this is a match I'm interested in. I'm really happy it's a singles match. I think I don't think it matters who wins. Because I think the belt will change regardless anyway. Whoever the champion is. In either like New Year's Dash or like in a few months' time anyway. I think that's my only issue with that, is the fact that this title does flip-flop in history a lot anyway.
I mean, like you said, last year, it went to Hiromu. Previous year, though, El Desperado retained against Hiromu Takahashi. And, of course, Hiromu won it against Taiji Mori back at Wrestle Kingdom 15. And you just titled the Will Ospreay match that Hiromu won it back at Wrestle Kingdom 14. So while it does have a bit more of a transitional record, you still got to give up for Hiromu holding it for literally 1 year to the date, defending in multiples and singles against the likes of Robbie Eagles, Leo Rush, Speedball Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel, just to name a few.
Trey.
Yeah, there you go. Straight to the represent. Casey, these two have been locked together in this fun combat, shall we call it, and these journeys of idealisms to raise the identity of junior heavyweight wrestling now for the better part of 14 years. So it's really one of those things where it's like, who at this point could bring more fun to the division or to this title? And maybe the fun is takes a different direction here. So you heard of Zero's case here, and Kuzan, yeah, I definitely agree. The fans win no matter what. Pretty much junior heavyweights, they kind of try and steal the show, even though they never truly be the main event of the show. And when we get to Okada and Bryan Danielson, Okada's got something to say stuff about that too. But Casey, where do you stand on the junior heavyweight championship? Does Hiromu get it done, closure, or does El Desperado once again beat him at the Tokyo Dome, but this time in front of an actual audience crowd, and what I hope is going to be their best singles match to date?
I'm with Zero. El Despi's walking out.
As simple as that. Don't need to add anything else to anything else anyone said. All right. So we'll see soon enough if El Desperado can finally challenge himself towards bringing wrestling to the strongest form in his own way across the world, holding this title. Whether
I would
it's DDT
love
Pro, All Japan, or Noah, or something else. Yes.
I would love one of these years, probably not next year, but I would love one of these years they let the junior heavyweight title main event at Wrestle Kingdom. That would be awesome, but it has to be between specific people.
Well, yeah,
to make it work.
Hiromu even said that's a goal. He wants to not only be the longest successful VD champion, trying to get to V11, now on V7. He wants to have the junior heavyweights main event Tokyo Dome. It's been his aspiration since being part of Juice Thunder Liger's last match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. And he believes that maybe him and Desperado could do that, to the point, again, he does not want to face Desperado again unless it's the main event. So,
which is fair enough.
Yeah, I think this two are capable of it. Yes, Kuzan.
Is this only a one-night show?
Yeah,
that is correct.
Huh.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
New Year's Dash, January 5th. You got normal Wrestle Kingdom again, January 4th, the day, the only day.
Was last year a 2-night?
Nope.
No.
When did they change that?
They changed it last year.
Yeah, literally, they changed it back last year.
Oh. Okay.
I know, right? It feels weird. We had the two hybrid for a 3-year stance, and it's like, no, we're gonna normalize it once again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank fucking God, though.
Fair enough.
I'm so glad they did. I'd rather deal with one straightforward premiere night of professional wrestling than 2 nights of a bit of overbooking. Again, quantity versus quality. And that's what this match is going to define. And Kuzan, you're going to lead this off as you talk about champions. Let's figure out a brand new championship. IWGP Global Championship. The inaugural champion will be crowned in a 3-way match. Will Ospreay, previous IWGP United Kingdom champion, takes on previous IWGP United States heavyweight champion and previous never openweight champion David Finlay. In David Finlay's mind, you got a mouth breather and you got an ass kicker. Will Ospreay, arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of last year, but what he tried to do, particularly with the IWGP US to the UK Championship, taking on all comers, being all the greats across the world, AEW, New Japan, including Noah, against his hero, Marufuji, clashing with Speedball Mike Billy, beat Kenny Omega, beat Kazuchika Okada, and even Hiroshi Tanahashi. John Moxley, of course, he's been the premier standard for not only All Elite Wrestling, but arguably for a period of time, the United States Championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Will Ospreay has been waiting for this one-on-one rematch since last year after what happened at Chicago Riot, where Jon Moxley got the better of him, but he still wanted to bring more. They were not done with each other as far as Ospreay was concerned. Then you got David Finlay, who comes out from the earth, the rebel himself, who was born with a silver spoon, but was basically isolated from everybody, rich and middle class too. That's basically redefining things in his own way. He says whatever he basically touches, he elevates.
Lol.
He found a savage within himself, and this is how War Dogs became a thing, and he unleashed them off their chain from the LA dojo. He believes that greatness isn't from it, and greatness is a threat, so he's here to eliminate it before it eliminates him. So at this point, he feels that he's trying to expose a world that's rigged, and basically believes with this championship, he can do that. Regardless, here's one thing we know for sure. Jon Moxley signed AEW. Will Ospreay, he has signed with AEW, but he has not done with what he does in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Arguably his last Tokyo Dome showcase, that remains to be seen. But this already is a unique title in its own way because it's being defined in triple threat, which means what Will Ospreay wants to do, defend this all around the world, take it globally, carve his own legacy out of it. It gives the idea this title has no limits towards what it could be too. But again, does the Assassin get it done? Does the Death Rider get it done? Does the Rebel claim it for his own? Kuzan, you're first. Who you got winning inaugurally this title?
So, Will Ospreay last year was the Wrestler of the Year, in my opinion. He did incredible stuff. He never had a bad match whatsoever. His run with the United States title and the UK title, which he stole my idea, damn it. It's an incredible idea. It's fantastic. I'm glad someone did it. It's amazing. Both belts looked gorgeous. The story of like the actual heritage of it now, there's actual like people cared about the title. Like like they hooked me on everything that was happening with the story. I apologize if I go along with this, but like I have quite a bit to say. This is like my main event. Like this.
I don't surprise you. Don't surprise me.
So, where to start? So, yeah, Ospreay definitely made this title something in a era when a lot of stuff doesn't really grab my attention. Everything that Ospreay did while he was the IWGP UK champion, he really made a big splash in a lot of companies and made it very aware to a lot of people who didn't know who Will Ospreay was, why he is probably this year, if you want to argue AJ Styles as well, but that's fine. He is probably the greatest wrestler in this era. I would say so. He is in a position where he give everything to New Japan. He said that he was happy where he was, and then he signed with AEW. All right. Now, I have already said that that is good for Will Ospreay because in his personal life, he is a very intimate person in terms of, he's very British. Like, we're very simple. It's a thing where I know from everything that he's talked about, it's none of my business, but he is no longer with B. Priestley. He is with, I don't think they're engaged. I think it's just like his girlfriend, but he's a stepdad now. And in the position that he's in currently at the moment, he is able to go back and forth from America and the UK a lot easier than he will do in Japan. And I know for a fact that he still wants to work, but he also wants to make sure that he can do what he does for his family. Like, he's growing up. He's grown up in front of New Japan fans. He's really, like, done incredible stuff over the years. He has really taken New Japan to a level where I don't think people expected him to do.
Right.
He's really made people care about the title. Obviously, the history of the title was mostly around Jon Moxley. that I would consider it a fight between Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay. I would more give it to Will Ospreay. That the title is theirs, right? That they can have that claim. Shota is a big. He is Jon Moxley's underling is the wrong word. Student.
I would say
protege?
protege, especially
Yeah.
since he gave Will Ospreay his longest match last year, 40 plus minutes.
That match was incredible. The story they told in that match was amazing. It was 5 stars.
Right.
You know, it was nothing more than perfect. And I don't know. Okay. I feel like in the conversation when Will Ospreay told New Japan that he was going over to AEW, and he's a very honest person, he's not one to start backstabbing people for business. He told them in advance what was going to happen. He wanted to tell them very honestly and as soon as he could that he made that decision to go to AEW, which is good for him. It's nothing to do with the AEW brand. It's what's best for him as a person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like New Japan threw a hissy fit because they smashed the fuck out of those titles. God damn. New Japan said, "We are sick of you gaijins leaving. Why are you like this? Why don't you like us anymore?"
Well, Gato is pretty much heavily involved in the booking. That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
I can tell, looking at this from a mile away, that they have David Finlay fit to take the position that Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley have left. I don't think David Finlay is ready. I don't think that he is in a position, not with his wrestling, but with his personality. Some of the stuff that David Finlay's been posting is weird, man. It's really weird. And, like, it really puts me off his character. I want to like David Finlay. But from everything that he's given me, I can't. And I feel like a lot of people would probably see that. They would probably agree with that. The thing I'm really happy about with Will is that he's not only helped New Japan, he's helped the whole wrestling industry come together in a sense of he made Michael Oku in Rev Pro. Man, that match he had with Michael Oku was incredible. My God.
Goku, Zack Sabre Jr., Marufuji, people Mike Bailey.
His match with Marufuji was amazing. My
Yeah.
God, man.
The record goes on, the list goes on and on. You can talk about Will Ospreay's accolades all night as far as him transcending, as calling himself the last world beater, basically. To call yourself the best in the world, the greatest wrestler of the planet, you need to wrestle everywhere. So pretty much he's done that at this point. Now he's in AEW after this Tokyo Dome appearance, as far as we know. So he'll be involved in the Road to Revolution.
I want to say that Will Ospreay will win this match because he absolutely deserves it. However, I understand from a business perspective, you're not going to put your championship on a guy that isn't going to be around anymore. So it's going to go to David Finlay. And I understand, but damn does it suck.
Well, that's a hell of a way to lead off here. So, but the sense is logical because, again, you got to look at business. At the end of the day, no matter what you think of David Finlay, he is the underling. I mean, even Will Ospreay verbatim, you watch the interviews, Ospreay said that Finlay doesn't belong in this match. He invaded on Jon Moxley's business. And again, he's not wrong. I mean, if I was to pick one here, I think Will Ospreay does there because he has that global expectation for what professional wrestling can be. Not just the representation of British pro wrestling after that match with Zack Sabre Jr., but on a global scale, what professional wrestling can actually be. Before Casey goes tranquilo.
Yeah, Casey, wake up.
Wake up. I know it's late, bro. But again, consider this your 10th Pride of Wrestle Kingdom. If you do need to say adios, just, drop your camera, let us know, my friend. You know we got you. But why don't you go ahead and if you do you disagree with what Kusan says as far as David Finlay winning this, or do you think he's pretty much spot on with the outcome?
No, I would probably say. I would probably say Dave Finlay needs the shot in the arm way more than the other two do.
It's fair.
Moxley
Uh,
feels weird here, by the way.
A little bit.
I understand storyline
yeah.
wise, it's his title, but for this to be not including someone else, it feels weird.
A certain someone else.
Mm-hmm. But also keep in mind, guys, Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley 2 is imminent. They're both in AEW.
Yeah, I would love it. So
Just saying.
yeah,
No,
Zero.
I think the guy, I think the guy that Kuzon and I have in mind is currently resting up in hospital.
Ooh. Yeah, I know exactly who you're referring to. And again, Kenny Omega, get well soon. That particular life is no joke, folks. And your life is no joke either.
yeah, bro.
All right. Before we move on, Zero, do you disagree? I know how you personally feel about David Finlay, but from a business standpoint, I don't think Kuzan's wrong here. Do you agree with that assessment?
He ain't wrong, but he's wrong.
Wow, you gonna say that? I'm sat right here, man.
Yeah,
Oh, hijack.
We hung out like all day.
he's wrong, but he's wrong. But he's right probably in his logic.
He's
All
right
right.
in his logic, but I'm just like, bro, I can't stand David. But the thing is, though, I do see him winning. I do, and I hate it.
Well, if you're going to prove that you're worth more than dirt, despite the fact you call yourself a savage, you need to have some sort of gem out of that record. So,
but I'm gonna say this: if he loses, I am going to be the main one laughing my ass off. I'm
I
like,
just-
ha!
I just
think the
remembered
whole
something.
world is.
What's up?
Sorry,
Right.
I just remembered
you're
something. It really bothered me. Right,
What?
David Finlay smashed up those belts, by the way, and they did the symbolic thing where like he like showed them like smashed up. I was like, that's a great like visual, right? And then he
Yeah.
gave Moxley and Will the wrong belts. It's like, you are a
What?
dumbass. Why are you like this, man?
No, I
Your
think
dad
I
didn't
think
raise
that-
you like this.
No,
Yeah, by the
I
way,
think that was
son of
calculated on Dave Finlay's part.
No.
No, clearly he was lost in the moment and he forgot how to, end the segment. Go figure. A savage is not necessarily smart, guys. They're just brutally effective. We'll see if it's effective enough, though, to win this inaugural IWGP Global Championship.
I'm
Whether
looking
or
forward to
not-
how it looks.
Yeah, I'm about to say, is it going to represent what we've been trying to see for the longest time? A reinvigorated IWGP Intercontinental Championship? I'm very curious because I think presentation's everything.
It is.
All right. Well, we're getting down to the nitty gritties. As we know, as far as the English hype, this is what they're broadcasting. In case you leave this one off here, is it truly an eye for an arm, or is it vengeance looming? Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada goes once again one-on-one against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, who has a fractured orbital bone and a broken right arm, unable to carry his kids and drive for 2 months, regardless of the fact that Bryan has beat Okada technically under 2 stipulations. First time Okada, of course, he and him clashed over Forbidden Door last year, and he made the Rainmaker submit. Okada has not submitted since Shinsuke Nakamura in 2015. And of course, the following tag contest where Bryan won, Okada gave Bryan the full force of a Rainmaker and shattered his eye, even though the crazy guy went for the Continental Classic. And here we stand with the guy that has endured and struggled so much and adapted on the fly. Now been using his right arm since coming back. He believes Okada doesn't have that in him and is going to test once for all if Okada wants to be the next Inoki or just a wannabe. Casey? Who do you got in this special singles match? Does Okada finally put down the Dragon, or does the Dragon fulfill his vendetta and break the Rainmaker's arm once and for all, which is also a very long stretch, to say the least?
Well, there's no. Well, the IWGP Heavyweight title is out of the picture, so I probably don't feel so bad about saying that Okada is probably going to get the win here. But that being said, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see Danielson beat the shit out of the Rainmaker in this match.
Oh,
Okay, then. So
New
this
China.
guy very stern and who he wants to see win, but you believe that Okada's going to win because he's on Okada's home turf, despite the fact this is Bryan Danielson's dream, his pro wrestling standard. He wanted to get involved in New Japan Wrestling to begin with. He was in the Inoki dojo, where again the mentality was about you're not wrestling normally. You treat professional wrestling like a sport, and you incorporate combat in it. And
It's a
again, Bryan
martial
Danielson
art.
disciplined in jiu-jitsu,
It is a
kickboxing,
martial art.
strong style. I mean, again, you think about the kickboxing background of Bryan Danielson. I'm just saying why Okada has this vision to transcend professional wrestling even more of a global front. He believes there's no good wrestling outside NJPW. He's the experience. To be on top, you have to wrestle here on the cerulean blue. And as far as he's concerned, he still believes he is Bryan Danielson's better too. So that being said, Zero, your thoughts on this? Let's call it what it is. Rematch, dream match. Does Okada win?
If he says there's no other wrestling other than New Japan, then why he's leaving?
It's still speculation, but you're not wrong.
Because it seems fucking bizarre if he's going to say that, and then it seems like he's about to leave. It's fucking weird.
Hilarious.
That threw me off. I'm like, what?
Well, you gotta consider he still is 1/3 of the 6 middleweight champions, and gotta admit,
Oh yeah, he
this
is.
run, and he has ambitions that he does want a single belt again this
You
year.
don't need it.
I understand that. I'm just telling you what Okada said in the interview.
Yeah,
continue.
no. I'm just like, God damn, bro. Okada.
He's a six-time or a six-time world champion. I mean, who
I think even Okada forgot that he was a 6-man, never open weight champion.
Never won the belt ever. It's unfair, bro. How long have I been?
But like, this is gonna be a good match, and I'm gonna rant a little bit because I'm pissed off at Bryan Danielson because he nearly cost this match so many times to the point that
That's
I was
fair.
about to spaz out on him. Like, bro, you are going up against Okada. Stop doing these Texas death matches. Why are you doing the Continental Classic? Because you know the block you in is going to fuck you up. Bro, chill out. You know you got a big match. You know your body is fragile. It's made of glass, bro. But come on now. Use your brain.
This is the American Dragon we talked about that loves professional wrestling probably more than anything in his life outside his family. And this match alone is driven by his family. The fact he couldn't even hold his kid for 2 months.
Yeah. I'm just like, bro, I know you love the sport, and I love that about certain wrestlers. They love it. But my main concern is that if you know you have a big match coming up, right? And you know a lot of people want to see you be in that match, and they know your history of injuries. You should think about the people, because they're going to be the main ones looking at you like, why the fuck did you do this? You know you're about to cost us a dream match or like a rematch, because certain things like this is the reason why that like I, in a sense, get on certain wrestlers, because they're gonna cost a big money thing, because he's doing a side quest, because he decided to go do a death match knowing that his body is not that well, and he has a match already booked in a bigger stage. It's like you.
Glory. I mean, at the end of the day, Bryan Danielson's on his last full-time as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And just to put this perspective, Will Ospreay's last dream match is Bryan Danielson, and he wants the American Dragon at Wembley.
Yeah, and it's like,
I'm just saying.
It's like, I love the drive of to love how wrestlers like they love pro wrestling. Case in point, my boy Eddie Kingston. He's a mark, and I love it.
And the King of the Bombs, the inaugural Continental Classic winner.
Oh God! But
to humble Kazuchika Okada, on his home turf.
It's
It's
crazy.
a
I
whole
just don't
different
see-
sound.
I just don't
It's a whole
see
different
it.
challenge itself. I'm just saying.
Yes, it's crazy. But my pick to win, I want to say Bryan Danielson, but this is Wrestle Kingdom we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll say Okada rarely
Okada's
loses.
going to turn up.
You
He's
mean-
going to
you mean-
turn up.
You mean worse than the F the Kids movement of 2023, where he literally
Mhm.
put every young boy in New Japan Pro Wrestling in their place?
How dare he did that to fucking Kaito, bro?
It
That pissed
started
me
with-
off.
It started with Kaito, then with the Kento, then with the Ren, then Shota, then everybody possible. Good grief.
Bro, that pissed me off. I'm like, why would your
know,
little
I
brother
know.
him, dog?
He literally
Today, the
his
part of
vengeance
Maxwell Jacob Friedman will be played by Kazuchika Okada.
because he's better than you and you know it. All of us
This
also get
man was-
MJF
Also,
gets
fuck
busted.
them kids.
He was a fucking demon, bro. I was like, Okada, chill out, bro.
But
Ever
now
since
Okada has vengeance on his mind against somebody that's not a kid that put him in his place that Okada has not been a place at in over 8 years.
Yeah. Inoki died, Okada been going crazy, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back to TNA.
And he is going back to TNA at Hard to Kill at Snake Eyes after the taping. So there you go. And he's tagged alongside the Morrison Machine Gun. So keep that in mind. Future match to come. That being said, Kuzan, who you got in this?
Motor City Rainmakers.
Motor City Rainmaker.
That'd be amazing.
That would be.
It's definitely an upgrade from the time machine.
Okay. So I've got like a thing on this, and like I'll answer this match simply. I think Danielson's gonna win. I do think that for TV reasons, they would definitely want to go with the image of Okada like doing his big celebration, you know. But I believe that Danielson will probably win this.
Okada also said he's not fighting on just behalf of himself. He's fighting on behalf of Japan because that loss makes Japan and NJPW look bad. But now I have the home
That's
advantage
crazy.
now.
Yeah. So I have two things on this, right? Obviously, Okada's like I'm in the belief that he is leaving. I am in the belief that he is leaving because his wife is probably going to be doing a lot more work, and they have a kid, right?
Yes, he's now.
Now, what a lot of people don't realize outside of the wrestling bubble, Okada's married to a Japanese idol. She is way more famous than him by a long shot. Okada is nothing compared to his wife in terms of like her fame level. It's crazy, right? This lady has done so many anime like voiceovers and like without even counting as like an anime dude myself, you know, but like the amount of like voice work that she's done for like I don't know how many years she's done it for. She's done way more stuff than that, but like this is my knowledge of it, right?
That's fair.
I'm in the belief that Okada is probably going to leave for a bit and then come back at some point. Now that doesn't mean he's going to show up in 6 months. He's probably going to go away for like a year. Is my guess, but that's just my guess.
First impression at TNA.
Okada's gonna-
TNA won't be around no more. Okada's going to burn that building to the ground.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think this match should be this match. And that's a super unpopular opinion. This match shouldn't be what this is. It shouldn't be Bryan Danielson. This should be Kaido
Oh,
by a
God.
long shot. Because my God, man, that storyline is incredible. That they just let go. That was something that I got super invested into Okada. Heel Okada, he beat the hell out of Kaido on his own home turf. That when we spoke, okay, going
At
back to
Yokohama Arena, he beat the tar out of him. Good grief.
dude,
They
he
both
murdered
did.
him.
They both
Like he
did.
destroyed him. It was awesome though. I love Kaido. That was awesome. That was the Okada that I loved watching, right? When we spoke about the G1 episode, And we ragged on Okada. The point I was trying to get to was that I wanted them to go with the story that I put forward. I don't remember like the full thing, but I remember it being Sonata winning the G1 and then picking Kaido, right?
Yes.
And I think they should have done that. They should have done that here, man. And I'm in the belief that the IWGP Championship match should be a triple threat. Now, I understand that New Japan doesn't do triple threats. Maybe this was the one time to do it. Or you could have a situation where Kaido is the main event straight after the first IWGP Championship match. You know, I don't know. Maybe like someone can improve that plan. That's off the top of my head. But
Right.
I would much prefer Okada versus Kaido here, at
Well,
the very least.
Maybe
Well,
maybe
as
they could
far
do their
as
Wrestle Kingdom at Yokohama Arena, though, and
Yo.
maybe they finally bring that to fruition as the main event. But go ahead, Casey.
we keep this one thing in mind, Kuzan, as far as having Kaito in the waiting in the wings after Naito versus Sonata, we still do not yet know the card for New Year's Dash.
And we won't
Sure.
till time.
I just
But I
thought
would
about-
have liked it to be
okay.
on Wrestle Kingdom, though.
It's fair. Again,
Right.
it's the biggest stage.
I just
What's
thought
up, Zero?
I just realized something because I looked it up.
Yeah.
So Kaito and Okada, they faced at the Kijimoto
Last
retirement show.
Yes.
And here's what's crazy about it. Before that show, Kaito beat Kijimoto and got passed down. So Keiji passed the torch to Kaito to lose in the Tokyo Dome
Yeah.
on the card that's supposed to retire the guy who passed him the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good start for you know.
My kayfabe father,
Now-
Kijimoto.
Now,
Will be
I understand, by the way,
disappointed.
I understand that everyone wants this match, and that is completely fine. I'm fine with being in the very small minority of the opinion that this should be Kaido. I will love this match to death. I love Bryan Danielson. I hope that he gets to every single match that he gets to before he retires, because man, does he need to chill. Right? He needs to figure it out that he needs to calm down, because I don't want him to die. I'm genuinely scared that he will die. So
Brian,
he needs to chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
stop doing
No,
them fucking headbutts.
No,
bro.
I completely agree. He like you said, he says this is his last full-time run, and I imagine Wembley's going to be literally the last full-time like big match, especially if they try and set up Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, which insert storyline here. I could definitely see that being the American Dragons Endgame. But speaking of Endgame, we talked a lot, guys. We had a lot of fun. We got a lot of ambitions. But let's go ahead and talk about the main event. And Naito officially got the main event. And Zero, guess what, bro? You're leading
Yes,
it off.
Natty. Huh?
It is Sonata, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, taking on Tetsuya Naito. You can literally look at both these two men and parallel the careers. But the biggest difference after looking at that incredible retrospective and hearing both men's reviews, a few things. Naito is living for the now, the moment. And the one moment that's eluding him is that roll call at the Tokyo Dome. Why Sonata, he might be looking for, in his own way, that presence. And he's looking past the present, towards the future. He wants to give the biggest gift he can at the grandest stage of them all. Both men former tag champions, both men incredible winners in their own right. Tetsuya Naito cut his teeth in New Japan Pro Wrestling after Sonata was rejected. Sonata at the age of 17, while Naito got in at the age of 23. Naito hit rock bottom, though, challenging, of course, the genius at the time, still the wrestling genius himself, Keiji Muto, but then found his way, became ungovernable. Sonata worked his way under Keiji Muto, back at Alpha 1, then became Wrestle 1. He even faced Great Muta, but he knew he could not surpass where he was at who he was against. He found his own way in America. And when Naito came back, LIJ was born and formed 2016 on. It's been the story of these two ever since. Why Sonata now feels like he could be the guy to be the presence in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Naito's the one that still believes that Sonata, he just can't get there yet. And he is the star. So, Zero, it's Destino or it's Destino denied. What is your final sight come the end of Wrestle Kingdom 18? Did we get the gift? Or we did get the roll call finally to close the night?
Naito buried the absolute shit out of fucking Sonata in the interview.
Yeah, y'all love baseball, right?
Bro, Naito was on demon time. My man literally said nobody cared about you, bro. I'm like, he was like, he literally said, I have no feeling towards that belt. What the fuck?
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
It means that it's not about the belt. It's literally about, I think, the moment at this time. He's got no emotional tie to this. Why he's been cursed by the Intercontinental Championship, for those know the history of that. And why he looked at one point, he held both the IWGP Heavyweight and the IWGP Intercontinental, no longer existing. The past doesn't define him. He's now looking at the present. There's only one moment left to define, at least right now, and that's the World Cup Wrestle Kingdom. Then get to the main event of a wrestling show at Mazda Stadium.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue, Zero.
But Naito was disrespectful in that interview. He was just mad disrespectful. I'm like, God damn, bro. Chill out, bro.
You were expecting anything less from the ingovernable one?
Bro, no, it's not just that, but it's just like it's more venomous than how it was before. Like he has more venom in this joint, which kind of surprised me. Like, yes, he's ungovernable, but this seems personal.
I feel like he's maybe disappointed as Parejan, and so he loses to him at the grandest stage of them all. I don't think he's ever going to believe that Sonata can be the presence that Tetsuya Naito's become in New Japan Pro Wrestling, let alone surpass it.
Yeah, because like if you notice, it's like because I pick up on vibes and energy. So like from what I hear from him, it was more like, this motherfucker, I helped this man. And then he decided to do a 180 and just turn his back on me. And it was crazy. Sonata had a major when he left LIJ, he looked different on the day after. I'm like, God damn, bro. You just, my man did a Scott Steiner. He went from the Steiner Bros to Big Papa Pump, changed everything about him, which is crazy.
And finally overcame his rival Okada for the titles of Current Genesis.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like, yes, Naito wants this last, his last hurrah. But I feel like this is about to get more personal than just that, because Naito did help Sonata develop a lot. And now to see that happen kind of crushed him a bit. But at least Sonata didn't do the evil and attack him.
No,
he did
Sonata has always stayed true to himself. No matter what you think about Sonata, he always has his own presentation in the outlook of professional wrestling, and he's living his dream right now. He just wants to bring that dream to a bigger presence, which is why he left LIJ. He knew he couldn't do that while working underneath Naito. Why they were once tag champions together. If Sonata was going to finally be, the guy, self-proclaimed new hope, he had to go out on his own and finally win the title, and he did that. But arguably to say, it feels like Naito still is the bigger presence in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah. He doesn't even have the title. He has a little tote bag with a contract. So what does that really tell you about the feeling of this main event? It almost makes me wonder that, can this main event be still the biggest match on the card worthy of that spot? To Kazuchika Okada's point, again, they're following Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson. And why the title is the most important thing, is the title really the most important thing here? Or right now, is it just literally time filler for a moment that maybe everybody wants. I think right now it's psychological warfare on Sonata.
I think both guys has a different viewpoint on the main event.
Oh, most definitely.
Sonata feels like Sonata, yes, he feels like a new. I feel like he's more for the title and beating his guy. Naito is not for the title. He wants to be Sonata so he could do the roll call and finally check his list. So they have both views. Usually it's always about the title and the moment. This is two different fucking things. This is two different things. And my heart says Naito. So he could do that because how I see it, Naito wins. He wins the title. He looks at it, drops it. His mates come. They do the roll call, but he won. But Sonata when it joins in just for the moment, and that's it. But Sonata, because New Japan be killing me when it comes down to me picking who should win, because they be fucking me over a lot. So part of me thinks Sonata's going to win because in Wrestle Kingdom and me getting excited, my hopes always get crushed. When I wanted Kenny Omega to win the one time, he lost. When I wanted fucking Naito to beat Okada, he lost. When I wanted Shango to win because I love Shango, he lost. When I wanted Kota to win, he loses. I'm like, I'm tired of y'all, bro.
The opposite freaking
Yeah.
zero. But you think this time they're gonna actually get it right? And you think Sonata deserves the win more or needs it more?
He needs it more because he needs to prove a point that, I can't say he's an up and comer because this motherfucker been here for a minute. But like
2006, but
but he feels like an up and comer now. That's the thing though. It's like he's not an up and comer, but he feels like it now. Just like LA Knight. He's an old fuck. But he feels like a young guy. He feels like an up and comer.
right.
That's the crazy thing about this because Sonata, he looks different. He used to have the beard, the blonde hair, the fucking. He looked like a Yakuza member. Now he looks like a fucking young boy, just came back from excursion. So it's like he needs it more because he's the new hope. But Naito, he doesn't need it, but he also needs it because this is his last thing he wants to do on his list.
Mm-hmm.
I want Naito to win. But due to my track record, I think Sonata's going to win.
Fair enough.
So,
well,
yeah.
Kuzan Sonata said the future is more important than the present, why Naito's limited to the now, and Sonata believes if you truly don't give in, you can make anything happen. So, Kuzan, I ask you now, do you think Sonata makes it happen and denies Naito once again the moment that has eluded him, his roll call?
It's difficult to say. I have to say this is the most indecisive I've been with any match that's even been in New Japan. So I think that Sonata should win. But I think while he should win, I feel like this is probably the first chapter in a new story. This is kind of a prologue to a new story for Naito and Sonata. I feel like in the same way that Kazuchika Okada and Tanahashi had their big thing, I feel like Sonata and Naito are probably going to have their thing. That might be bold. I might be full of shit and like this. I may be wrong.
I
But-
mean, again, though, you to your point, it was
Kuz-
three Wrestle
Kuzan?
Kingdoms that Okada and Tanahashi culminated.
Kuzan, we're wrestling fans. It's in our nature to be full of shit.
Oh, come on,
Accurate.
man. We're better than this. No, but like I feel like
Not wrong.
I feel like Sonata, while he has the belt, he is still. I don't want to say like he's still figuring it out. He has such a stoic, non-emotional way with his promos and his character,
Yep.
and it makes it difficult to connect with him. And unless you know, like super way back, like at the very beginning of his career, like you barely know anything about him other than he was part of Los Ingobernables and Los Ingobernables de Japón. And I'm surprised that they have not implemented that more into this feud. I'm sick of Naito saying, "Yo, y'all love baseball, right?" I'm like, what does that add, bro? Like, what
Love
does that
baseball,
do?
Tranquilo.
I understand from a basic concept that the G1 winner has a chance to go up against the IWGP World Champion at Wrestle Kingdom. That's cool, you know, big Royal Rumble and WrestleMania thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like there's a lot of pieces missing. Like, it might just be me, but like, I feel like a lot of pieces are missing here that you probably should have spoke about, because the presentation of those promos were fantastic, by the way. Seeing Sonata next to the like water, like next to like the edge of like those like cliffs where all the water was, those shots were gorgeous, absolutely beautiful.
And looking on the horizon as the rain stopped, and it's like you think about the looming cloudiness of Sonata lost, but now everything's clear to him. It's more clear now that his vision of what he believes professional wrestling can be, his dream, can come to true fruition at Wrestle Kingdom.
I want to know more about Sonata, and I feel like he's not letting us in. If that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's I think that's very fair. I mean, again, you look at the retrospective video, why Naito was very boisterous in what he believed he could be for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sonata simply said thank you quietly, then talked a little bit more, then was rejected. So I think it's one of those things where Sonata again is a very close-minded individual and only wants to bring us in so far as needed. And maybe that's part of the gift that he's talking about all the time, that he allows us to be part of, because I believe a gift is not just for the receiver, it is for the receiver and the provider. He believes that the gift works both ways. Of course, you know what I'm talking about when you get that luminescent sight. So it is one of those things where I do think right now Sonata needs this more to prove something to himself, to prove something to Naito, to prove something to Keiji Muto. And I'm sure Keiji Muto has some stuff to say about this, but I haven't seen an interview yet by him as regarding this match on YouTube. I think that something just went up on the Japan Wrestling site.
Katie was probably like, I'm happy I passed the torch to Kaito, but so now it was a fucking failure.
Well, I don't know if Sonata was a failure, but he was just something that wasn't understood fully and still isn't. Because again, at the end of the day, he is still the champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why his presence has been kind of meh. But that's what Sonata wants to do. He wants to break convention, Casey. He talked about, you think about who has made it there at the Tokyo Dome, who's won at the top all the time, who's always there at the top all the time. It's always been Tanahashi or Okada or Naito. And if we're being honest, he's damn right, because that's usually the people that have won the main event. If you look at the track record of main event winners in the Tokyo Dome, outside of Bushi at 15, it's literally been nobody else but Okada, Tetsuya Naito, and friggin' Tanahashi. For the bare part since Wrestle Kingdom 8, if we're being perfectly honest. So,
matter of fact, now I'm curious. Let me look at that real quick.
Yeah, about to say, you wanna back me up on that? Because look at the events, look at the winners. Keyword the winners. That being said, Casey, what do you think about this match? That, honest to God, is probably going to define at least the new beginning of New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2024. Is Naito's destino denied? Does Sonata break the convention and leave with the championship? What do you expect, man, to close this thing
Ain't
out?
no
Because this
fucking
match has
way.
more to it, I think, than on the surface.
Well, I actually hinted to where I think this is going earlier on in the night.
You did,
Just-
but I wondered if
just
your
before.
mindset changed.
Jesus Christ.
Told you.
Most of people I see is Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada. Jesus Christ.
Told you.
Yeah.
Naito only been like one.
Yeah, the double gold dash. That's
two-
literally it.
I think he been. Yeah, just been in 2 fucking main events.
Yeah, because one
Well,
was
3.
one was a fan pull that put him down to the semi because Tetsuya
Yeah,
Nakamura and Hiroshi
3,
Tanahashi
4
were the
now.
bigger names in New Japan Pro Wrestling at the time. This was a bigger match.
Like
And that was for their
3
Canelo
or 4
championship.
now. Jesus fucking Christ. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Takayama. 1.
Takayama, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I love Takayama, bro. Like I seen some of his matches. He bullied
Right.
Kenta.
Well, I guess somebody had to.
Ah.
All right.
Anyway, KZ, go ahead and close this thing out. Your thoughts? How do we end Wrestle Kingdom 18? With a roll call, with a gift?
We end it, believe it or not, this is wild on my part. I've already discussed this with you personally previously. Zero Kuzan, I don't think you guys have heard this
I'm
idea
scared.
from me.
I'm scared.
We end it with a roll call and a stab in the back.
The ungovernable one taken down, not on New Year's Dash, but the night of.
Right. He gets his roll call out, or if they really want to be a dick, they do it before he finishes. And Yoda Tsuji leads LIJ in expelling Naito from his own group.
There goes the double knee Stardust genius. To
Man.
Stardust, particularly.
Man, I don't want my boy Hiromu being a dickhead. Come on now.
Well, and to be fair, it's just a wild aspiration, but how many times, I know it's only been Bullet Club, to be perfectly honest, but it would be convention if LIJ did such a matter to change leadership. Otherwise, Naito might literally fade into excursion, never to be seen again. At one point, we thought he was going to do that after Wrestle Kingdom 12. Instead, he just sat in the building hours on end after everybody left, just wondering. Again, the mentality of Naito is a very unique enigma. And also, to go back on the baseball standpoint, it's not just Mazda Stadium that he wants to do the roll call in his home, of course, in Hiroshima. He finally wants to do that one-on-one match against his protege, Hiromu Takahashi, that was denied from him in 2020.
Yeah, that shit was sad.
If Naito wins and Hiromu retains, there's your anniversary main event.
Yes.
So you also got to keep that in mind, too. So at the end of the day, I want to see change, but I don't know if Sonata's the guy to break the convention because it's been so freaking consistent. I want to believe in it, but there's no argument that right now he still has just been kind of there and has not created that overall presence. And I just don't know if he can actually do that against Naito at the Tokyo Dome in the main event. It just feels like the roll call, this Destino, has more drive going into it. And that could allow Naito to propel and come out with it. So I'm torn on this one, honestly, because if Naito doesn't get the moment here, what does he do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Probably.
I have to say, by the way, the Naito G1 win kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was really random.
Yeah.
I
The
think
whole G1 was a bit crazy towards the tail end, if we're being perfectly honest.
Because like I mentioned during when we covered it that I wasn't gonna watch anything, and like for the most part I kept my word, but I also like made sure to keep tabs on like what was going on, and watching certain matches that I thought would be really interesting. And like as it all dwindled down, I was thinking like, where are we going with this? You know, like what's the story? Like what are we doing months from now? And that's the thing, like I don't know what the drive is with, you know, like what are we gonna do like when Naito wins, you know?
And kind of that point, what do you do now if Sonata creates that presence, but you don't know how to determine that presence?
Yeah.
New Japan Pro Wrestling is a very weird state with the IWGP Pro Heavyweight Championship, but
Yeah, the worst thing in general, bro.
well, yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully we'll get maybe some more clarity after Wrestle Kingdom concludes and New Year's Dash maybe foretells at least what's going to go happen as we go to this new beginning too. But that being said, guys, been an absolute pleasure once again getting with you all on this summit here to premium discuss Wrestle Kingdom. We'll try and see if we can do this again following the events that occur in New Year's Dash as we did last year. So I think with that being said, you guys know me, I keep it simple. I figure we'll just conclude, but everybody find out do. Let's get some sleep. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, please follow Kuzan, please follow Zale, please follow Casey, and please let us know your predictions in the comments down below. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and engagement, and we hope you take a chance, if you haven't yet, on New Japan Pro Wrestling and Wrestle Kingdom. With that being said, we're going to bed, so thank you, arigato, and have a good night, folks. We'll see you soon enough if Tetsuya Naito achieves his destiny or if Sonata finally finishes fulfilling a dream. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Get some sleep. Until next time, folks. Genyo, sayonara.
All right.